No sound? What a drag. No sound? Hold on. Hold on. We gotta have sound. We gotta have sound. This is too good. Gotta have sound. Let's see how we do this. Let's try it again. We got to have sound. Present, share, window, to share audio, share as a tab, share entire screen. Oh, what a drag. Oh, man. That sucks. Can't share audio if it's a window. Share audio, share a tab, or the screen instead. Oh, man. That blows. Let me see if I can figure this out. Okay, I have an idea. Take this, copy it, I'll drop it in here. Boom. Let's see if I do this. All right, let me try this. If I do, no, this is also a window. This is also a window. Crap. Oh, man. That sucks. Really sucks. All right. Man, I was all excited to play the Mookie video. I wanted the Mookie intro. Not cool, man. Not cool. All right, I have to figure that out some. All right, we'll just whatever. We'll do our standard intro. Hang in there. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Jeez, the show's off to a bad start. All right, start over. Start over.
You hypnotize me. 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 You hypnotize me.
All right. Boom. What a terrible beginning. But we'll just edit that shit out. We'll edit everything out that happened before Hypnotize, and no one will be the wiser. Hey guys, Original OC, the Original OC channel. It is Thursday, May 16th, 2024. And this is it. Tonight is the end of the Apology Tour. It's the Apology Tour finale. It couldn't have come any faster, but it's over. After tonight, it's done. So listen, speak now or forever hold your peace. I know there is a very, very small but vocal contingent of viewers who feel that they haven't had an opportunity to ask the tough questions. They haven't had an opportunity to get on the panel and ask me anything that they wanted to. So listen, it's an open panel tonight, open chat. There's no super chats. Ask a question. I'll do my best to answer it. I don't know how long this is going to go, but I'll go until all the questions are answered. But that's it. After tonight, if you don't speak up now, you're done. You've forfeited your opportunity to question. You've forfeited your opportunity to throw shade, to throw negativity, toxicity in the chat, and it's it. Tonight is your chance. If you don't want to jump on, don't complain. But don't go on and on and on with this fake narrative. It's like, oh my God, OC, he didn't apologize. He didn't do this. He didn't do that. How come he didn't repent for his sins? Guys, stop acting like babies. You have a question, ask it, or be done. Be absolutely done. I want to say hi to Mathis 2.0 in the chat. I want to say hi to Andui. What's up, APIZ? Mr. Tutor to you is with us. Kyle D is here. Patel Philippe Tanzil, what's up? Big George NY is here. What's up, Big George? Good to see you here. Eddie Mao says, what's up, fellas? Lucky Bastard is here. Lucky Bastard, very cool guy. I want to thank him for lunch, by the way. He treated to lunch at an incredible restaurant called Park in Rittenhour Square. And it was Lucky Bastard, Luchabetic Mark, the great Evan G, and myself. And I did eat all the desserts. And he paid for it. So thank you, Lucky Bastard. You are a hell of a guy. You're a hell of a guy. CN is here. Props to the OGOC. Well, I don't know if I'm the OG. I mean, I'm just a guy, but thank you nonetheless. Gatsby's in the chat. What's up, Gatsby? We have Marco B. Marco B says, good evening. And I think that's it. Who else do we have? BW. BW is here. Love the BW representing Florida. From Chicagoland, we've got Johnny O. We've also got Otto. Bonsoir, Miami. Is that how you pronounce it? It's pretty good. Dr. Bob's Nightmare is here. Dr. Bob's Nightmare, who I met in Las Vegas. Not a bad guy. Pretty cool guy. Cloud Cannon's with us from New York. Ask Unlimited as, yeah, I don't know what that means. Uh, unlimited questions. Yes, unlimited questions. Um, uh, so any, questions, I'll answer. Hey, Solvents is in the chat. Solvents and Seb Nelly. I've said hi to every single person here. And look at this. Chalk flew up. Had to watch the unboxings taped delay, but congratulations to Buckley and Boston Collector. Hey, yeah, those guys are really, really cool guys, and they deserve all the kudos for their recent pickups. DL Farms is here. DL Farms is in the chat. What's up, DL Farms? Tom Boss is here. Let me see. I'm getting a bunch of text messages, so I apologize. By the way, the link to the panel is pinned in the chat. If anybody wants to jump on the panel, feel free. This isn't just the OC show; it's everybody's show. So this is the final night. This is the finale of the apology tour. No excuses. Either ask your questions or forever hold your peace. And by the way, I'm going to extend invitation to Tanzil. I want to extend an invitation to Curly, extend an invitation to Hoff. Anybody who wants to jump on the panel and moderate, feel free. Let's see here. Let's see if there were any questions that I missed. I do not want to skirt any questions. Let's see here. Let's start with the Inquisition. I want to know, was the moon landing faked? Oh, this is this is two questions in one. Was John F. Kennedy killed by the CIA? Oh, this is three questions. Is there an alien cover-up? Well, my opinion, and it's only my opinion, is no, no, no. So those are OC's answers to your questions. Patel Philippe says, tough question. Will you be dropping Oliver Peoples now that you are independent? No, they've been very, very supportive of me. And I just have one pair of Oliver Peoples. It's the Finley 1983. Last time I mentioned that, it sold out. So don't. If you are interested in the Finley 1983, head on over to my great brand partners, oliverpeoples.com. And know I will not be moving on from them. They've been a great supporter. Gatsby says, hey, OC, I must be missing something. What on earth do you feel you have to apologize for? Seems to me there's someone else who should be on an apology tour. You know what? Fuck yeah, you're right. What do I have to apologize for? Yeah. If someone thinks I have something for which to apologize, jump on the panel or type your question in the chat. I don't have super chats, so I really can't see highlighted questions. So if I miss them, it's not my fault. I'll just try to go through these as methodically as possible. But I think Gatsby's right. What did I do? What did I do? I didn't do anything. I'm not going to get into it, but listen, there's other people who should be apologizing for their actions and coming clean for what they did. And I'm certainly not the cause of any of this. But hey, if you think I am, if you want to have a go at me, this is your chance, guys. This is your chance. Don't complain later that you didn't have a chance. Dr. Bob's Nightmare. He's delivering the hard-hitting questions, guys. He is delivering the hard-hitting questions. He says, how many 4P watches did you order? The answer is 0. I'm done buying watches that I'm not going to wear. You have to fight very, very hard to get wrist time. We were having a good discussion about this with Gorilla earlier on the Watch Colony, and we were talking about a really cool looking Zodiac. But at the end of the day, like, when am I ever going to wear that? I've got 10 Rolexes, an AP, an Omega, and a Zenith. I'm not going to wear fucking Zodiac. Come on. Yeah, I put on the other day my Tissot PRX. I think that's better than any. I think that's a great watch, but it gets very little wrist time, maybe once a month. Speaking of the great Gorilla Time, he's in the chat. Thank you very much for being here. He says, good night, all. Mathis 2.0 says, apology for what? Exactly. Exactly. Apology for what? If people think I have something to apologize for, let's hear it. Come clean. Come forward with your questions now, or as I said earlier, forever hold your peace. It's an open platform tonight. Don't pussy out on me. Oh man, Mathis with the hard-hitting questions too. What is your favorite dessert? I've talked about this many, many times. I like all desserts. Okay, I like pie. I like cherry pie. I like apple pie. I like chocolate pudding pie, Boston cream pie, almost any pie. I like cakes. I like chocolate cake. I like Black Forest cake. I like marble cake, any kind of cake. I like ice cream. I like sundaes. I like creme brulee. I like cheesecake. I mean, there's not a dessert that I don't like. So there are no favorites. Everything works for me. So sorry. Yeah, cobblers, absolutely. Peach cobbler, apricot cobbler, apple cobbler. Throw some extra powdered sugar on there. No doubt about it. Any regrets skimming desserts? No, I'm gonna have desserts once in a while. I owe it to myself. Um, I'm gonna for the link is pinned at the top of the chat, but for those of you who are lazy, boom. Do I like flan? Great question. No, I don't love it. I don't love flan. There's like 50 other desserts that I would choose over flan. I like creme brulee over flan. I don't like custard. I mean, custard is okay, but it's not my favorite thing. Marco B's in the chat. He says, I pushed back on Tim tonight, tried to talk some sense. Would you accept his efforts to mend relationships, OC? At this point, I think, it's just the ship has sailed. The ship has sailed. What he's done is really when you break trust with somebody, let alone 50 people, when you disrespect them, when you're disloyal to them, it's very, very tough to earn that trust back. And everything is incumbent upon Tim uh, to get better. Not for us, not for the people who left, not for the people who were banned, not for the people who were blocked, but for himself. If I say this and I really do genuinely say this as a friend. If he wants to get better and just live a great life, be successful professionally and personally, then he has every opportunity to do so. But and his friends will support him 100% in that endeavor. Listen, I have look like there are 42 people watching the show right now, and those 42 people are multiplied by 100, 200, 300 more who are just loyal viewers, loyal panelists, loyal friends, dare I say. And we don't easily forget disrespect. We don't forget disloyalty. So if Tim wants to He should start with himself, and that's the most important thing. Don't worry about mending relationships. He was given every opportunity to not do what he did, and he knew full well what he did and what the consequences would be. There's no mistaking. He knew 100% what he was doing. Uh, Danny Crook, are you now or have you ever been a member of the Communist Party? It's very nice seeing all the new channels flourishing. Yep, I'm a big believer that competition is good, and the good quality content will rise to the top. And we're seeing that in the numbers. I mean, we're just we're just seeing that in the numbers. I mean, we have certain streams that started off as nothing, literally nothing. 3 or 4 weeks ago, they're now the fastest growing channels in the watch space on YouTube. And I'm proud to be part of the Watch Colony network of live streams of great channels, Luchabetic Mark and Diego, Boston Collector, myself, and the Watch Colony channel. Really, really good channels. And other channels that used to do very, very well with 250, 300 people watching a night are now struggling to get 50 people, and they have 0 panelists. And so I think and I'll pat myself on the back a little bit there because I do deserve, and I'm not shy to say it, I do deserve a lot of credit for all the great things all the great growth, all the great panels, all the great supporters. We made it so that great people could come and volunteer their time and make great content for everybody. And when you ruin that, you have to suffer the consequences, unfortunately. And that's what we're seeing. Big George, any new? And by the way, just there's a lot of I'll address something political. I usually don't talk politics, but I know a lot of people like to say that OC has this political affiliation or that political affiliation. Believe me, people don't even know. People have no idea. I worked in the George Bush, the first George Bush's campaign. I'm a lifelong Republican, so when people say, "Oh, well, OC's soy," or "OC, is a Biden supporter," or he's a Democrat, or like they have absolutely no idea what they're talking about. I'll put my credentials up against anybody else's. George, Big George says, any new watches on the horizon? OC people need to move on. By the way, absolutely. They need to move on and get past this nonsense. Yes, there are new watches coming. One big one. Everyone knows what it is. If you don't, you haven't been watching my show enough. Carrot cake is the best there is. Fact. You know what? I friggin' love carrot cake. Absolutely. It's one of my favorites. I love carrot cake. Listen, so far the questions are pretty tame. I got to tell you, we are what 20 minutes into the show. No tough questions, really. Hey, TG01 is here. TG01, a great supporter of Tim and everybody in the community. So listen, there's no ill feelings, no ill will for anybody. Like everyone's allowed to support who they want to support and have the friendships that they want to have. There's no loyalty tests or anything like that. People should go watch the content that they want to watch and not be ridiculed or ostracized as a result of that. And that was a large part of the issue. When you were told, when grown men and very successful people, successful entrepreneurs, successful collectors are told, hey, if you watch this other show, you're no longer welcome on my panel, and you're no longer welcome in my chat, and your financial support is no longer welcome. Well, news for you. We've got choices. We've got choices, and we'll go other places. And listen, I want to commend the people who've put together the colony. I want to commend Luchabetic Mark, who runs an amazing YouTube channel, the best place for Sunday morning watch talk. I want to, you got to give kudos to Diego. He's raised, I think over $7,000 or $8,000 for charity so far with his live stream. That's a pretty noble cause. So we don't have to super chat to fund people's trips and to fund people's luxury watches. We can put our super chats to work for a good philanthropic cause and feel good about what we're doing in a very positive and community spirited environment. The word you're looking for is insidious. Tim's actions have been insidious. He's got a long road to walk before he thinks about relationships with other humans for now. Okay. Thank you for your opinion, Danny. I don't know. I'm not sure if I know the exact definition of insidious, but I appreciate your expressing your opinion. Why isn't zucchini bread cake? I consider banana bread cake. I consider zucchini bread cake. So it is. It's just called bread, but it is for all intents and purposes cake. Mathis says Danny Crook. It was like a massacre that he thought people would not see. Yeah, Mathis, you are correct. You are correct. Is it true? Apes is going to ask the tough question. Is it true it was you behind the scene banning those 50 people? Self-sabotaging? Absolutely not. I never banned anybody. I know this is contrary to popular belief. I did not have a wrench on Tim's channel. I did have a wrench on the Watch Community channel. I was actually a co-owner from an administrative perspective on the Watch Community channel. So I had keys. Not only did I have keys to the channel, but I was an owner of the channel in the sense that I have full administrative control over the channel. And I could do whatever I wanted there. But on Tim's channel, I was didn't have the ability to ban anyone or time anyone out or anything like that. But I can tell you that I had nothing to do with Mathis, America, Luchabetic Mark, Boston Collector, Buckley, Logan Hall. And the list goes on and on and on of all those people being banned. I thought it was an absolutely foolish decision. And I was very vocal about it. And you can go back and watch the live streams when the de-wrenching occurred. The de-wrenching that was where a whole bunch of people lost their wrenches. And you can see that I was very vocal. That was a stupid thing to do. By the way, we're ready. We're ready to start the Inquisition.
Is this avatar too much?
I mean,
all right, wait, because I only have 2 on this because I normally use something.
I think you're gonna.
I got this one.
That's better. That's better. I'd rather look at that one.
I don't have a whole bunch of avatars in this account. Can we talk about the message or no?
Which message? Yeah, whatever you want.
Yeah, I didn't. I was on Archie's stream when you messaged me. I didn't have the phone, and it went off a couple of times, and my wife gave it to me, so I read it, and I know I saw you message about 7:15. I couldn't do a dungeon after show, or else I would have. Believe me.
No worries. I'm here. And listen, tonight doesn't have to be the finale. I'd love to put this issue behind us because I heard you for a little bit on Archie's show, and you're like, you know what? I don't want to. I'll paraphrase a little bit. You're like, you know what? We don't need apologies. We're grown men. What do we need to apologize for?
I don't believe in that stuff. I mean, come on. Yeah, apologies, just another thing that somebody's going to hold against you when the fucking when you have another falling out, right? I mean, if you want to call it a falling out. Look, I got a different view on all of this stuff, so I guess I'm different. You guys have a more personal. You guys meet in real life. People that meet in real life. That's a little bit of a different relationship. You guys had a pre-existing relationship before I even came on these streams, but yeah, I don't like the. I would have no problem. I'd love to have Diego on the dungeon and stuff. If you feel like standing and getting trolled, I mean that's half the battle. I mean, I think
Curly, though, people have choices of when they volunteer their time. I think they don't have to succumb to name calling and all of the unnecessary stuff.
Look, hey, listen, I agree. I think that balancing a little comedy, a little drama, watch talk, bro talk, it's not an easy thing to do. People could stay on their own channels and just ignore all the infighting. Obviously, there's a reason if people want to go back to the Archie platform. I believe in the plastic approach, right? We give you juice, we give you a Happy Meal, we give you a blanket. Welcoming mat is out. you know, and obviously I'm not going to be the one. I don't want to get involved in personal, you know, vendettas between people. I mean, me and you have made fun of each other more than I think any of these guys. But see, you know, the thing is I try to keep it so it never gets personal. So,
I mean, I think Tanzil is doing an admirable job. The guy,
yeah.
he's working like a dog to basically grow our audience, his potential prospects, and I think he has to deal with, you know, 2 or 3, maybe a few more people who don't really have Archie's best interests at heart. They just would rather have a place where it's full of trolling comments, and they like that particular kind of entertainment, which is good for them, but it's not good long term for Archie,
Well,
especially now.
I feel like it's they're treating stuff like it's home turf. You know what I mean? And I don't have that kind of viewpoint.
It's
Listen
like
to me. I know this. I know this. This is what I know for sure. And this is, you know, I'm not going to speak for Tanzil, but I mean, you know, if Tanzil and Hoff and JJ say, hey, you know, we want to get along with these guys because of the hobby, I'm not going to, you know, I'm not going to put my troll persona ahead of you know, what other, you know, to make it, I don't know, awkward for other people. It's just stupid in my opinion. So to me, I know this. I know that it was hard to get over 100 people when we used to run dungeons. We're getting 200 people. So there's audiences that are, you know, carryover audiences that, you know, I mean, look, how long can you do watch talk for? They like a little bit of the drama. Sometimes I believe sometimes that, you know, I could say things that other people are uncomfortable saying, you know, like a viewpoint of how Timmy's behaving and stuff. And, you know, if you're letting the dust settle or you think there's a chance of, you know, reconciliation, you just don't want to, you don't want to torch each other. I understand that. Doesn't mean I can't get in the middle of it and take advantage of the drama that's going on. I mean, but I know this when, I mean, look, I think the welcoming man and making people feel welcome. I mean, the numbers, I'm a, you know, as much of a knuckle dragger as I am, the numbers prove that fucking long-term grudges are counterproductive, plain and simple. So
100%. And you see that, you know, you had 200 people on the dungeon, and it was because, you know, you started getting cross pollination of audiences. You know, you're getting more people tuning in to see what's going on, and that's not an anomaly. You know, you have to take advantage of the situation that's being presented to you, and if you don't, you may not get it again. There's a lot of people who are former Tim Wright stream viewers who are evaluating other channels, and they're looking, hey, where's the best content? Is it on the colony? Is it on JJ? Is it on Archie? Is it on the dungeon?
I don't want to
And they're
say best. I want to say different. I don't want to say, I don't think it's best. I just think it's different. You know, people just like ingesting different stuff because we're all in the same fishbowl, really. I mean, if you really come to, nobody's bouncing out of the Archieverse community, whatever you want to call it, out of that fishbowl to go, you know, to go sit on 4-piece stream or to go sit on, you know, everybody's got this routine where, you know, people come home like right now, it's what, nighttime. I'm assuming that you're probably an empty nester with your wife.
Yeah.
And I mean, what the fuck are you going to do at, you know, like right now, it's 8:30 at night. We have a little thing where we're going to go take a walk with a neighbor of ours. And because his daughter really enjoys our dogs, we're going to go to a open field and let her play and stuff. So we made that commitment, but you know, what the fuck am I going to do? I mean, I'm not going to be working on stuff at night. Summertime's a little different. If I go night fishing, you know, you come home after work, you want to, you know, if this is a place that you enjoy chilling with
unwind,
some virtual
enjoyable
friends.
entertainment.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing. I mean, this is actually for me much more enjoyable than going to a bar or going, you know, if I go bowling with my friends, it's just a whole night of ball busting and, you know, probably going to cost me $400 or $500 for a dinner and bowling, but we don't do that every night. That's just a really special, you know, once a week occasion or something where I get to go and chill with my friends. I mean, they all have busy lives. They all are, you know, most of them are not retired like me. So,
But is the prep either stressful or exhausting for you at all? Because you do put research into the shows. You don't just wing it. Like
I
someone who
honestly was gone when I parted ways with Nicholas. I honestly was gone because there was quite a bit of time where Mookie was there, and Mookie being the person that he is, he was trying to arbitrate. Look, there's a huge life experience, and there's a huge age difference between myself and Nicholas. So the way we look at things is much, much different. In the end, he's got to look at his bottom line and what he thinks, the amount of effort is worth putting into a show. It was easy for me because of Mookie. If it wasn't for Mookie's help, I would have quit streaming a long time ago. I mean, because it was actually starting to get to the point where it's not fun. The only reason I started my channel is because I didn't want to have guilt by association affecting other people. It wasn't an easy thing to do, to go through when Nick got the copyright strike, because he makes his living off of it. So that was a tough hit. But then, then again, we didn't know that you could simply buy a monetized channel. And there were other workarounds with GoDaddy and PayPal and stuff, and kind of worked out. But the bottom line is that I could never do shows like I used to. I would never go back to trying to watch this content. It's actually crowdsourcing.
Yeah, you use basically search tools to do voice
and
do keyword searches.
There's a lot of there's a lot of people that like the entertainment, as long as you don't go too toxic. Okay, so they'll crowdsource. There's people that watch Timmy's channel, and I'll get timestamps sent to me. Okay. Hey, check this out, check that out. Like today, I got 3 timestamps from his airport Bon Voyage stream, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. I got one the other night. Now, I'm a little bit uncomfortable, because then when I went back and checked it out, his wife's involved in it, kind of. That was never my thing to do that, but I mean, it's kind of like, she's becoming part of the stream, then I guess you got to do it in a way where it doesn't seem below the belt, because he does take advantage of his, unfortunately. I mean, he does it on the stream, so it's not like people don't see it, but it's not easy. Look, I mean, I'm stuck in the same fishbowl as you and everybody else. If you want to do comedy, you want to do drama, who are you going to do it about? I mean, Archie's the easiest target ever, but it's almost like picking on a puppy with him. I mean, he's got so many faults, but he's also
he's self-deprecating.
Yeah,
so he doesn't mind. Yeah.
So are you, kind of. I mean, so are you. I mean,
I know how to play passive. I know how to play passive aggressive, right? I mean,
yeah. I mean,
and I heard you earlier, and I do enjoy your analysis, because sometimes you're really spot on. You're like, OC's getting exactly what he wants. Some guy jumps on, goes over the line, and then OC's able to use it as a narrative.
Look, all I'm doing is I'm looking at it from my eyes. I'm still looking at it from a campaign. If you're my opponent in a campaign, and somebody in my universe is making your fucking campaign easy, it perturbs me. Okay,
I know it. It's so fun.
Yeah, I mean, what the fuck? I mean, come on, you bounced it. I mean, you think it's fucking easy putting up with some of the nut jobs? I mean, Watch Reporter is a complete and utter nut job. He served his purpose, and now he's gone off the deep end because he thinks
that scumbag. That guy, real
well,
scumbag.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if he can't get off of what he's doing, and that's if that's the direction that he wants to go, well, you know what? Be happy with fucking 9 people on a live stream. I mean, if you can't see the value in toning your shit down a little bit, making it more humorous and less homophobic, we could do something together. If not, I'm not going to do guilt by. I'm handing the other side an easy optic to make me look bad, and I work hard to try to look unhinged, and but without looking bad, without looking below the belt. And you've known that, because when things got to a heated, many times when things got a little bit too heated over other people, I still can't. I mean, I can't. How could I say? I can't detach myself exactly from them, And it was easy for you to include me in general terms with them. And look, I don't blame you. That's what I would do. I mean, I've done it. to you plenty of times. You did it to me. That's the fun, kind of fun. I mean,
It's fun.
you're a bit of a drama fucking bitch. You can admit it.
We're two
Now
coaches.
all of a sudden, fucking, you go from Chuck Schumer to fucking the Donald Trump mega fucking. I'm a Republican.
but it's like there's so many false narratives out there, and Curly, you're responsible for some of them because
Oh,
you
yeah.
say when you do a show and you embellish. And some people actually repeat those things over and over again. So I mean, and you mentioned one tonight, and I'm just gonna cover it because this is the apology tour finale. When you said,
just so we're clear, I don't believe in apologies. I
know.
There's two things I don't believe in. I don't do that loyalty test bullshit, and I don't do apologies. And anybody that tries to do that to me, I don't give a fuck who they are. This is a loser game for me.
This isn't an apology, but I just want to clear the air. Like, and this is something you've said over and over, and I've tried to correct you, and you still there are people who still believe it. But I had absolutely nothing to do with Watch Nicholas's channel being copyright strike. Okay, it was not my decision. I wasn't consultant. I had nothing to do with it. And I know you're like, listen, Tim Wright's too dumb to know how to file a strike.
Hang on a second. Now I could go back and play a few clips. Now I'm not. Listen, I could never say unless I hear it or I see it myself. I could never say 100%. But you are guilty and reveling in it because I'll give you a few key phrase words because I've looked this up and played it many times, so I know the phrase.
That's a lot different. That's after the fact.
Okay. All right. Well, let me finish. Now, if I enter the phrase from Tim Wright, hey, OC, you look like you just murdered somebody, and you come walking in next to your pool with this fucking smirk from ear to ear, like you just assassinated Paul Castellano, and you sit down. Well, and you're
smart enough to know what Tim was doing there, right?
Yeah, but like I said, I'm doing guilt by association. So you sat down.
Go ahead. Yeah.
You sat down and you literally started reading. Well, this is what happens when you have talentless people that can't create their own content.
And they steal people's original content.
Exactly. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And then you proceeded to read verbatim the copyright community guidelines, copyright owners disclaimer, whatever the fuck it is, because we actually made one up to put it up every time. So I penciled those two things together. Now, Marcelo saying that he was on a private stream with you, and Tim was absolutely against striking the channel because he was like, in Marcelo's words, he said he thought that it was good publicity for his channel. The more they talk about me, the more they drive people to me. That was actually believable. Okay. Do I believe Marcelo? Well, at the time, you got to understand, Marcelo would say and do anything to be in the crowd. In the end, does it matter? No, I don't think it matters.
All right. But for the record.
Plus, I really have a hard time believing that Tim is actually has the ability, because I saw the owner copyright complaint, the way it was worded. I have a really hard time believing it. It's almost as bad as like if you
you saw something that I've never seen. You actually saw what was used.
Oh yeah, it was the same. It's the same thing that O'Sheen filed, because that's the only way we could appeal
I've never
it.
Seen it. See, I've never
seen
it.
So shows the reasons. It shows the reason that the owner of the channel felt that his channel was being used and smeared, and that other people were profiting off of his content the way it was filled out. I mean, he actually, you know what? I don't think Nick ever showed that one on the air. We did show the one that O'Sheen sent when YouTube denied his YouTube owner's YouTube copyright thing. We actually showed that live. I don't think we ever showed because the first time that's the second copyright strike. The first one, Nick didn't fight. So we ended up just getting the Pakistani cooking channel. And we ran with that because it was already monetized and ready to go. So we ran with that. But then what happened, that when that channel got struck, we actually had somebody that, because in order for you to appeal, you have to give all your information in the appeal form.
No,
But you could also appoint a
I
representative.
actually did see the appeal form.
Yeah,
I
you
actually
could
did see it.
appoint a representative, and that's what we ended up doing.
Yeah.
We. I
And
mean,
so I
and then
saw-
after that, after you appeal it, then that's it. It's in.
The funny thing is, you know what happened? What he appointed that representative, that lawyer,
Yeah.
and the original channel owner still all their information gets published. So it was a complete waste of time to hire that person.
Yeah, I don't.
So
Well, he didn't get hired, but yeah,
whatever.
I don't know. I
The
don't
person
know.
who did the work for free. It showed. Listen, I don't believe in doxing, so but I always kept that information private. I don't even think I kept it, but I did see that. I see the paperwork that Nicholas filed as the appeal and had all his information there. And
No, see, now listen, if you were such an independent and had nothing to do with Tim's channel, why would you be reviewing the appeal form?
it was sent to me. It was sent to me. So I looked. It was sent to me. So
whatever, dude. I mean,
But-
look, it is what it is. I think that's the only time that to me, well, it's not the only time to me that it got a little personal, but actually not with me. I mean, it had really not much to do with me. It was that, and then what O'Sheen did was pretty funny because he did it. I actually was more pissed off that the stream got struck and taken down before, because we played the clip of
which stream was this? Which stream?
Well, the stream was when we got struck by Timmy in midstream.
Copyright strike. Okay.
Yeah, we had just gotten done playing, O'Sheen's little, assumption about 47th Street, and then we followed that with this is little video about what it meant to him. And during the middle of this is videos when that copyright strike hit, the one that once we got our shit together, we were off the air for 2 days. Once we got the shit together and we got the other channel up and running, we actually replayed the same exact thing. And that's when O'Sheen's literally, as we were streaming, Nick got the notification that it was denied to him. And Nick actually had the complaint that he sent to YouTube, and Nick just put it up on the, I mean, he wasn't doxing anybody because it's O'Sheen's show email address, but it was kind of funny. The reasons that he listed for filing that owner copyright, content owner copyright claim, I think it's called, was almost verbatim what Timmy's was. So yeah, whatever. It's water under the bridge. I mean, it happens. All's fair in love and war, right?
Yeah. Do you even remember what month that was, or what was that? Early 2023? Was that 2022?
You know what? That's one thing I don't have a good memory for is dates. But
by the way, Giorgio the chef asks a question here. I don't know. Maybe you want to take a stab at this. So, what happened with the fallout? Tim just running his mouth about drama too much that caused OC to leave. I can't believe Giorgio the chef doesn't have an idea of what the issue was. You have a pretty good handle of the chronology, Curly? You want to talk about it?
I mean, I think, look, I think if tonight is any evidence to Tim just refuses to drive. I mean, Tim literally is at the airport leaving for, I guess, a vacation. He's talking about everything he's going to stream with his wife. And he literally rolls right into Forpy's fucking watch drop that happened today. I mean, I think that the people look at, imagine this. Imagine if I go to the Colony every day and I try to run a drama narrative that they don't want on their channel. So, I mean, that's what Timmy basically did. I mean, you could literally, I mean, I think towards the end, OC was literally on the panel. He would drop off the minute O'Sheen would come up or the word bezel came up. He would just, whoop, okay, got to go see Mrs. OC's making dinner or something. And he would leave.
That's right.
So you could see that these guys just, as far as the chronological order, my narrative was a little off and OC kind of cleared it up when I did not know that Tim had, now tonight he actually denied, the one clip that I saw, he actually denied that he banned anybody from his channel. He de-wrenched but tonight he denied. He said that that's a narrative those guys are using against me. I didn't ban anybody. I de-wrenched the wrench apocalypse. He called it the wrench gate. Yes, wrench gate was true, but I didn't ban anybody. So, and I'm going to, you know what? I got, like I said, I got like 5 or 6 pretty good timestamps and some clips And hopefully, I think Saturday I could do a dungeon, and maybe Friday I'll do a Mookie Lounge. I think maybe I'll start it on. There's a lot to cover. I mean, look, there's still a little bit of what I don't understand is I don't understand. Timmy is like leading up to really starting to torch people. You know, little by little, he's letting little tidbits out here and there. But the funny thing is, every time he brings it up, like he was bringing up the thing that he didn't ban you guys, and O'Sheen super chatted him $50. The other night he was on the narrative that the reason he's being fucking that, I mean, that obviously he learned this word from you. Oh, I'm being ostracized because look, and he holds up that stupid paper badge or whatever it is. This is what I have. This is the punishment I go through for being the guardian.
He's been watching these shows religiously, almost obsessively. But because what else is he going to do? I mean, come on. We did a show where we had 2 incredible unboxings and donated over $2,000 to charity. Those are people that would have been on his channel, watching an unboxing on his show and donating super chats to him so he can travel around the world and buy luxury timepieces.
Well, look
but
at who he
instead,
was trained by.
They're somewhere else.
Look at who he's trained by. I mean, when he sees those super chats on Diego's channel, he sees you guys there. He sees that's his money, his leads. I mean, he doesn't have a different viewpoint than Archie. I mean, that's that paranoia, and that's that lack of life experience. I mean, literally, he could have just humbled himself and just congratulated. I think it would have went a long way. A little thing like, okay, look, you know what? We've went our own ways, and those guys are not talking about me. I wish them luck. Congratulations to Buckley for getting a Grail watch.
From very early on, what he could have done is just ignored Diego's channel, or actually done exactly what you said. Hey, congratulate him and welcome him and say, hey, you know what, Luchabetic Mark, that guy actually is a good guy and he's helping me on the community channel. Diego, his supporters are actually my supporters. So if I am nice to him, then those people will continue to go back and forth. But he didn't want to do that. And when he says, if he actually did say this, I don't know if he did or not. I'll take somebody. I don't want to just take someone's word for it. But if he says I never banned anybody, I mean, here's one of the guys right here: Logan Hall, Luchabetic Mark, America, Buckley, Mathis. These are loyal friends. You don't get people more loyal than Mathis and Logan Hall. I mean, Logan Hall was one of his first members and was a member for 38 months. Okay, when he was kicked to the curb, absolutely kicked to the curb.
To give him a little credit, but I mean, I don't think he has a choice because he has a hard time getting over 100 viewers now. To give him a little credit, he does pull up controversial chats, and usually it's a and you know, Tim, a lot of times he uses the chat to mask what he wants to say. Anyways, he just uses the chat as an excuse, a springboard to actually run his narrative. So he a lot of it is a response to the chat. I know somebody asked him, you know, how does it feel now that you know, you banned?
I think that was Marco. Was that Marco B who was in the chat earlier?
I don't know, one of them was Whole Milk. Whole Milk is good at apes. Whole Milk. They're. I mean, listen. If these guys could, if we could ever get them as interns for Circular Drama, Whole Milk, apes. I mean, internship, and then maybe we'll put you on the payroll. But our payroll right now is bleak. But I mean, they always have a good way of triggering him to, and he did. He said that tonight. He denied that he banned you guys. He goes, any one of them could be on my channel now, but they're not going to be. They're not going to be because that's the game.
Why would they come back after they were de-wrenched and banned, and basically 50 of those the closest friends of the people that were banned said, listen, we're not going to tolerate that, and left. Were all of those people banned and blocked? No. But why would they want to be there on a panel with Cam?
Well, there's a bit of a. I don't know if maybe he learned it from Archie, or you know, maybe it's different. Maybe when you're a channel owner, sometimes you get how can I submit. Sometimes you look for you know, to put people in submission by abusing them. I mean. It has happened. He's been able to abuse a lot of people, and it works because they come back. You know, Suckerhorn used to tell this to Archie all the time. They'll be back. Don't worry about it. They'll be back. You know, after Archie just completely exploded and said horrific things about somebody. But you know what? They may have a point because I'll give you a look. Lolix is in the chat. I mean, I know Lolix literally said, I will never go back to a guy who doxes me. You know, and like a month later, he's there. You know, he was there. Dirk, same thing. You know, I saw Tim, and I don't like to dwell on this stuff. I saw Tim say some horrific things about Diego, and then he expects Diego to apologize to Oshin after Oshin is the one who literally completely berated him on a stream with 300 people. And, you know, 2 or 3 weeks go by and you know, Diego's right back on the stream with him. I mean, the only couple of people that I've seen that, I mean, look at Blondie. Look at all the abuse Blondie took. She still goes back, you know. I mean, so you could see that sometimes these YouTube channel owners, I don't know if you want to call it catfishing or whatever you want to call it. There is, because I mean, what are the choices really? See, the thing that's different now is you gave people a lot more choices. I mean, you got the Colony, you got your channel here, Diego. So he's never had that before, you know.
I think he tremendously.
What were the choices before? Archie's channel and Timmy's channel. And see, that's why I don't agree with this. Look, trolling is one thing, but belittling somebody and trying to be fucking internet tough guy, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that. Right? You know, and if, you know, unfortunately, if people try to take that tack with me, I don't have any fucking loyalties to anybody. I just don't like that. I know that yesterday, I mean, you know, whatever the case may be, however hurt Bear may feel, Bear was also responsible for his part of ending a personal relationship he had with Diego. And they did have a personal relationship because I've heard Diego many times when things were good, many times the admiration that came from Diego to Bear. I know that Bear was like an advisor to him, almost like a surrogate dad. I mean, I've heard Diego say it. Was he sincere about it? Well, yeah, maybe a young, impressionable guy is. Same thing with Marco. I mean, that's a personal vendetta, a personal spite that those guys are going to have to work out on their own. But it makes me feel awkward when it happens. I mean, even look at Kelso's, and then Kelso's going to be ridiculed because Kelso wants to enjoy his hobby with other people that enjoy that hobby together, and he gets trolled and ridiculed about it. I mean, you know, no different than when I have you on the dungeon, and you know, we have one of these kind of conversations where it's not unhinged or curly or troll curly. You get fucking called a simp. You get called. I don't give a. You know, you got to have that thick skin. I know you have it. I mean, look, I thought that you and Neo yesterday actually really put a spotlight on the great part of your hobby and the community, is that maybe you guys could get past the personal insults and stuff that you guys have had in the past. And they are insults and they are personal. You know, so it's a little harder to get I couldn't ask Neo, hey Neo, just put water under a bridge, or ask you to do the same, because it's a reach the personal level with you guys, right? I mean, but all I could do is just hope that you guys work it out, and then we could have a little fun. That's all.
Yep. Logan Hall says Tim knows deep down he fucked up, but will never admit it. He will continue to double and triple down as to maintain.
I see no value. I see no value in trying to. I don't think Tim, if I brought him on, if he came on a dungeon, which I know he won't, because Tim would think that he's doing us a favor. Okay. But bringing him, what value is he? He is not going to fucking, he's not going to look at it like a reasonable person. He's just not. I mean, imagine what must have been going through his mind for that convoluted reasoning or in his mind. I don't even know if it was trolling or if he really believed. See, the thing that astonishes me about Tim, does he really believe what he says? That I hope that he doesn't. Because the way he talked about Buckley's getting a Tiffany, and he didn't even mention Buckley's name, but the way he talked about, you know, what it would be like to get a Tiffany stamped Patek, and the convoluted way that he went about explaining it. And I know he kind of did it in that way because Carolyn Martin was in the chat, and I know that there's some people that are still hoping for reconciliation. But I was thinking to myself, man, I go, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? All he had to do was say, you know, congratulations to Buckley.
Just let me interrupt you. There's not a single person who believes there will be any reconciliation. Even Tim's most loyal supporters, who are also my friends, and I talk to all the time. And I've talked to all of them, and they're all friends with me. They've all said there's zero chance that you guys would ever feel comfortable coming back.
Did you see? We played the clip on JJ's channel. I mean, everybody on that panel were like, you know, he really believes this, and I'm like, does he really? I mean, I can't get it through my head that he literally said that the cartel spoiled the whole prestige of having a Tiffany stamp Protect, because the cartel price fixed it, then they dumped it, and now it's no big deal to have it.
Part of the character smears, right?
I'm not even a watch guy, and I'm like, dude, do you really believe this, or is this something that you just made up, like just ad-libbed right now, just to say, oh, fuck Buckley? You should have just said fuck Buckley and his Tiffany. He's an asshole. He could have said that and been more credible than that convoluted shit that he went through. Almost as bad as the baseball watch when you compare to the baseball to FP Joint. You know,
by the way, there are a lot of good people in the chat. Eric King Ben says, "Listen, I was banned," and then you have people like Dear Artifact and DCNLV said, "Listen, I wasn't banned, but when I saw other people, all of my close friends being banned, and I saw that the panel was basically nothing and everybody was gone, then I left because I wanted to hang out with the panel that I liked and the chat that I liked, and everybody was gone from the chat. So I was like, hey, I have no choice. I'm not going to sit there in a chat with 4 or 5 trolls and a panel of nobodies. So
we were actually, I don't know, on the tail end of a 6.5 hour dungeon, and all of a sudden Mathis jumped on out of nowhere. Well, not out of nowhere. I played an old clip of Mathis on the dungeon. I really didn't have a lot of interaction with. I had more interaction with Mathis on the community channel than I did on Archie's platform. But then he happened to jump on, and because that's one guy I was really, really shocked that Timmy would have cut loose, and I was I didn't know that the one of the main reasons. I'll paraphrase kind of what he said. One of the main reasons was Mathis said, he goes, because I had Lucha's back. He wanted me to break bad on Lucha, and he goes, "There's no way I would do that to the guy," and that's why he burned me.
That's right.
And that just goes to show you, you can't teach character, you can't teach life experience. I mean, it's very, very obvious. I mean, look at me. I mean, one of the greatest fucking smears. I mean, like a professional fucking political smear. It's almost like like Donald Trump having to walk around with the touch their pussy thing got smeared with the. I mean, when OC hit us with that hate stream, that really bugged me, because I really worked hard not to go into the hate gutter. And the one time that I went on the community channel, I said, can you do me just one favor and stop talking in general terms, because what you're saying that people say, yes, it's below the belt, but it's not me. And if you don't distinguish that, I'm not doing it. I really didn't want that hate moniker fucking.
Yeah, but it was a pretty good brand. You should just rebrand the channel the Hate Stream. I think
I'm a hate cult leader now. It is. It's the hate church. It's the Church of Hate now. I got the House of Darkness, the Church of Hate. I mean, no, but you know what I mean. At that time, it kind of bugged me, because I worked very hard not to take it to that level.
There are plenty of things that were said about me that stuck for no reason whatsoever, other than the fact that someone said them and they were false, but got repeated over and over again. So I know what it's like too. So
I think the greatest fucking thing that we ever did was I'm not even going to say we, is Mookie Brian Boitano clip. I still to this day enjoy playing that.
The funny thing, I was trying to play it at the beginning of the show, and I couldn't get the audio to work because it wasn't in a tab, and so I actually need to figure out how to do it, because it ruined the entire opening of the show.
How'd you like that little shtick when I went back in time, and the 20-year-old? Did you like the 20-year-old OC in LA? You didn't see that one? That fucking that Jagoff stole it. That fucking watch reporter fucking skank took it and fucking made a whole shtick out of it. But still isn't as funny as when I did it. But he turned that into me stalking you, and I'm Vito and you're Johnny Cakes. me and
Yeah,
you
I
have a
didn't.
special homoerotic relationship. So he
Well,
kept
how did he
playing.
find out?
Yeah, you know what? I was like, fuck, you busted me. How'd you get me in that night in Jersey when me and Johnny Cakes went to the gay bar?
That's
He
right. You
played the
were
whole. It's
Pine
kind of funny.
Barrens.
He's kind of fun. It's kind of funny. I thought he actually played a good bit of Sopranos content and didn't get clipped for it. So I was very surprised you could do that. It's kind of
I don't.
funny. Look, it was fun. It was. I'd rather have him do that and do a funny spin than what he normally does.
I try
But
to
you
see.
can't talk people down from the ledge when they're on there.
I try to see the good in everybody, but those kinds of narratives are just really, really toxic and dangerous. And I can't get behind what he does, and I don't think that people support him are doing themselves any
You know what?
favors.
I thought I actually solved that problem because I kind of defanged the whole situation. You remember on the I think it was on the Colony. You kind of had a self-deprecating moment about you and who's the guy you met in Switzerland? Little G, Big G?
Oh, he was. I didn't meet him in Switzerland. He's someone who's we go to dinners all the time. In fact, I was
Yeah,
at dinner with
you
him.
had one day before Watches and Wonders. You were describing that you guys were walking.
Mr. G's in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and then somebody played a little clip of the two puppies with the one piece of spaghetti, and they ended up sucking
Oh,
on the
that's
spaghetti.
funny.
Yeah, and you self-deprecate. Well, I am known for going being in company of young Asian men. So you self-deprecate. I played that
Of
clip.
legal age.
Yeah, and I played that clip, and I go, look, this ain't like breaking news, fuckhead. Look at the guy even admits it. I mean, move on from it already. We all know that already. He even admitted it. He's like, where'd you get that? And I go, the guy just admitted it. Look, and then he dropped it for 2 days, but then I don't know. I think it's because Archie banned him on the main show, and now he's lost. Now he's back to his 9 viewers and his homoerotic narrative. He's actually showing thumbnails of the Colony and trying to figure out why there's so many shirtless men on the thumbnails. It's so stupid, but what are you gonna do?
Big Meech is in the chat. Big Meech says it's so satisfying seeing all the people who hate Tim Wright enjoy seeing his downfall, like me and my good friend Watch Nicholas.
No. You're using words in there, you sheep fucker, that I don't use. I don't hate Tim, and I don't want to see anybody's downfall because then what am I going to do? It's job security for me if they're still around. So I don't know what you're talking about there.
That's Meech's narrative. I don't hate Tim.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody that wishes him any ill will or any harm.
I sponsored tacos for him and Uncle Bob's Nightmare and Rich and the crypto lawyer.
I heard he didn't appreciate it.
And Red Sox. He did appreciate it at the time, all the way up until actually I got kudos from Humble Pine, and we exchanged like 2 or 3 messages. And then when the stream ended, these guys go back and they could ban you afterwards. I call that the back banning, shadow banning, whatever you want to call it. Because then the next day, and he got them all. He must have did a little homework because he got not all. I don't have a lot of. I got 3 accounts. I got Real World Curly, Lemon Curly, and then Happy Meal. Actually, Happy Meal is Real World Curly. I just changed the name, or Lemon Curly. I don't know. I'm confused. I got 3 accounts. That's all I got. Never hit it, but I was actually quite surprised that I guess he must have did it because at the end of the stream I was exchanging funny comments with the Humble Pine and also a Z-Man, and I think was one other guy, Logan Hall, maybe it was Logan Hall. I don't know. I don't remember. I know Humble Pine and Z-Man bothered him a lot, so he zapped me. I was actually quite surprised that he zapped Bear too, because I was trying to get Bear to get him on the on the main show, which I knew.
Who can explain what's going on over there? I mean, nobody really. It's all very irrational and very just defying any all logic and common sense.
Dude, when you get the gravy train, fucking, he's got to see it as a rug pull. I think he sees it only from his perspective, but I mean, he had a pretty good gravy train going. I mean, for somebody that And Tim loves streaming. Tim, I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that Tim wants to be a YouTube celebrity and fancies himself one. Fine. But the thing is, you're stuck in the same fishbowl as Archie. You're stuck in the same fishbowl as, I'd have to say, O'Sheen. I mean, O'Sheen never ever loses the opportunity of jumping on somebody's viral topics. I mean, he did it with Paul Thorpe, he did it with Watch Gringa, he did it with Jenny L. He has his pulse on the watch YouTubers, and if he sees something that is getting traction, a topic that gets traction, he jumps on it. I mean, I truly believe that he thinks, because if you look at Paul Thorpe's main channel, look, it's a gamble going political. It is, because you alienate half the people, right? In theory, you're alienating half your audience, whether you're, right, I don't want to say extreme right, I want to say, conservative, or whether you're Democratic. The funny thing is when I grew up, my family was always blue dog Democrats, which would be considered right wing nowadays in the eyes of the political format that these guys campaign in. So I truly believe that. You think that and obviously this is the influence of O'Sheen, to me, in my opinion, on Tim, is he's like, hey, this fucking Thorpe guy, he's getting fucking 300,000, 400,000, 1 million views on these videos that he makes on his big channel.
Yeah.
And then he's got this little channel that he does watch content on that doesn't get shit. So what is O'Sheen do? O'Sheen can't. I mean, he's a proud communist. He's a self-proclaimed communist. He's like, okay, well, I'll take the flip side of that coin and stir up controversy coming from the left, perspective. And look, if you follow politics, there's, the Young Turks, TYT, radical leftists are very popular with the young college crowd, so that's why he all of a sudden just went extreme left wing, and he's not stopped. And you know what, Timmy's kind of like the monkey in the middle. He doesn't know what. I mean, I saw him do watch content, and it's like it was putting Daniel Katz to sleep. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he just transitions to Forpy, and then the Roman, and then the cartel stuff.
I find all of that political stuff extremely unappetizing, unattractive.
Look, if I wanted to watch that shit, I would watch either CNN or Fox News. I don't want to watch any of that nonsense. Really, if you're in control of your own destiny, whether you're a businessman or an employee or what, you really, what can you really control? You think that your vote is going to, change the price of gas or whatever's going on in the country? So I just ignore that stuff. I'm more interested in my family, my friends, and my escape, which is these streams. And when you get that stuff, I could see why you guys. I mean, look. I was covering it, trying to make content out of it being humorous. And it got to the point where it was like, I mean, I literally had Paul Thorpe on the dungeon, and I could never imagine that Paul Thorpe would respond on the dungeon with me. And I had like 500 fucking people watching it. I was like shocked. I'm like, fuck, but it had nothing to do with politics. It had to do with the battle that was going on between O'Sheen, Tim, and Paul Thorpe, because, to his credit, at least, Paul Thorpe didn't get catfished by Tim to come up and make a spectacle out of him, before, during, and after his appearance on Tim's show. He decided to do it on the dungeon, and good for him. Now he's getting lambasted because he released a watch, and he had Timmy at the airport, supposedly going on vacation with his wife, talking about how O'Sheen's watch is different because he had artistic value and in his gondola watch, as opposed to Forpy.
Please read this comment, and please incorporate the phrase "salt of the earth."
Luchabetic time. I actually quit 2 weeks before being banned, mostly because I think O'Sheen is a complete pussy. I wouldn't call him a pussy. He's just look, dude. He's the guy when you walk off the subway, and he's the guy playing 3-card Monty or playing the shell game on Canal Street, And Timmy's the plant in the audience, going along with the hustle. He's a hustler. He's a transient hustler that's never planted roots anywhere, even though he's tried and failed. I mean, you know, I've never made content out of his daughter. As a matter of fact, I laid off from making content on him for 2 weeks because he said he had his daughter staying with him and he was going to try and rehabilitate himself, work out, quit drinking and stuff. So I just laid off. I mean, I do have a little bit of a conscience, but you got to understand he entered the Archieverse through Archie. So Archie's partially responsible for the toxic shit that this guy has been able to do in this community, especially, especially I thought it was, I mean, I've heard all kinds of crazy stuff, but when he literally, as like a battle cry, he literally said anything that those guys, and by what he meant by those guys at that time was me and Watch Nicholas, anything that those guys even mention my name or say about me, I'm going to take it out on you, Missy. And he was talking about Blondie, about doxing her 100%. He literally threatened us that if we would even mention his name, that he would take it out. I mean, can you imagine that, taking your vendetta out on a woman because of what other people punch holes in your fucking paper tiger persona? I think it's pathetic,
Yeah. Tough question from Patel Philippe. He says, OC, will you be purchasing the Oshin wallet? I will not be purchasing any wallets or ashtrays or watches from anybody, from any YouTubers. Not from Nico, not from Paul Thorpe, not from Oshin or anybody else who decides to come up with a watch.
We actually thought he should have put his face on the inside of the wallet. I don't know why he branded the outside.
I don't know. I mean, those kinds of things are for absolute very loyal supporters that basically want to give the guy money. But
he sold, believe it or not, he had 3 pre-orders and they were Tim, Daniel Katz, and I don't know, whoever the guy with the avatar with the boat on there. So it's like he only had 10. So I mean, he already sold 30%. He already had pre-sold 30% of his stuff. I mean, the funny thing is you got to wonder at this point. The funny thing about Oshin is he doesn't have to break bad with Timmy to actually distance himself from Timmy. He's already done it, and it's actually to his benefit. I mean, he literally went on Tim's channel and spruiked all his, he did his merch drop on Tim's channel before he did it on his own channel, and actually sold a couple of $300 ashtrays and 3 wallets. So good for him. I mean,
yeah.
It's not like it's mass produced stuff. He's only got to find 10 or 12 suckers at a time, right?
Just a few people to buy them as mementos or souvenirs or whatever you want to call
Pays
it.
Rent.
Expressions of support for the channel,
Pays rent.
Just because, and we do represent all sides here. Mr. G, who was there in Switzerland, said Oshin is quite a gentleman, a person, not a pussy or whatever. Yeah, and I found my personal interactions with Oshin to be pleasant, and I met him a couple of times in person, in Geneva 2 times, and he was always very pleasant and never talked about any of the things that he gets in trouble for or any of the controversial subjects. So he was always very cordial and polite, and we had a good time. We had 2 years ago, we had a really nice dinner in Geneva. So, in person, he's just a normal, likable guy.
Look, when he came through Archie's, okay, at that time, you had the same panelists coming on every single day, right? So he was like a whirlwind, breath of fresh air, right? At that time, he was in Genoa, living with the mother of his daughter. And Archie was just as starstruck as Tim is with Oshin. And you know what? To be honest, the guy, good storyteller, interesting story. I mean, he's a great storyteller. Look, half the game, the con when you're a hustler is you got to be a good storyteller, right? He always had the details. At that time, he was doing some Rolex content on his channel, which was fresh, different, creative. I never ever downed the guy for he is a talented person. Unfortunately, you got to take the other side of his personality that comes along with it. Now, what happens over time? And it happened over time. He was almost, the funny thing was at that time, you would have Oshin, Roman, and Nico on a panel. just chilling on a panel on Archie's show and regularly. I think O'Sheen at that time had like 28,000 subs. I think Nico had like 130,000 subs. Roman was just cloud chasing fucking TPG everywhere, wanting to get a little piece of fucking YouTube celebrity. But it was quite interesting. If you roll back the Archie versus Time Machine, you would regularly see those guys. I mean, how do you think that they hooked up? I mean, O'Sheen literally, and Forpy too. And O'Sheen was literally trying to become a backpack dealer. I mean, he had inside access to wholesale prices at the top of the market. And he is such a, I mean, I can speak freely. He fucked it up, because in the end, he owed a guy from Turkey money. He owed Spencer money, and he owed Nico money at the top of the market. And, playing fucking Robin Paul to pay Mary or whatever you want to call it. I mean, he had got booted out of, Genoa and moved to Venice because his daughter was going to school there, and he got a break on the apartment, like a student discount on the apartment. I mean, there's no inside info. He's actually said this on his stream. I played clips of it, even like when he accused Nico of doxing him. He doxed himself the first day he moved into the apartment. He showed us exactly. Well, look, it's right in front of the San Moritz, cathedral. I mean, literally, he doxed himself. But anyways, so he was a regular. And what happens with time, the onion starts getting peeled, and he started being toxic on Archie's channel. Archie lost Lord over it. He would make demands that he didn't want Dis or Marcelo or Lord on the panel when he would make an appearance. And those guys, because Archie doesn't exactly, Archie actually told those guys, well, I can't have you guys on, and that toxicity.
All three of them happen to be Jewish, by the way.
Yeah. Well, Lord was the first. I actually played it a couple of times. I actually was trolling Lord for being oversensitive about his anti-Semitism until, like I said, Ron was the first. Ron the Shrink. We always played that cut where Ron the Shrink goes on there and fucking rails into not only O'Sheen, but O'Sheen was bringing Dirk around from Eyebashers. And we play that clip a lot. Ron was the only person that fucking railed into those guys. And then, O'Sheen said, I never want that guy on the panel if I ever come on the panel. Ron was another guy that used to come on the panel a lot. So that toxicity started oozing more and more. And actually the anti-Semitic thing, even when Lord left, I literally went on Lord's channel about a month after Bear dropped, told Archie to drop O'Sheen, kind of banished him off the channel. And I apologized to Lord, because it was like, the dude literally, then he started taking it out on Marcelo and Dis. And he was very anti-Semitic. He described the reason I went back and apologized to, and it's the reason I think Bear made Archie drop him. He gave a story about Israeli wine, okay? Kosher wine. He told this story about kosher wine. The way he described it, if you had any interaction with people of the Jewish faith, my CFO is a 15-year great friend of mine. You couldn't help it. I mean, it was literally just blatant anti-Semitism, and I was like, fuck. And 2 days later, that's when Bear told Archie drop him, and Bear's exact excuse, not excuse, his exact reasoning to Archie is, look, the guy's boring. He stopped bringing you views, and he's making it very toxic, and he's an anti-Semite. And 3 days later, that's the first time that myself, Narc, and Angelic all appeared on the same panel. And the topic was our first appearance ever on the panel. And the topic was Bear airing out the reason, because Bear took a lot of heat for it, because he was pretty popular with half the audience. And at that time, Archie was getting 200 plus people. And Bear was airing out the reasoning for dumping O'Sheen, and myself and Narc and Angelic all popped on at the same time and gave our opinion on why it was a good thing to cut the anti-Semite, self-loathing Alka. alcoholic. Hey, buddy, I lost track of time. I got to bounce.
No worries. No worries. I appreciate
Sorry
you
that
jumping
it
on.
took me so long to respond, but I was like, I didn't have my phone with me. But Saturday, I'm planning on doing we're gonna do a Mookie Lounge Friday after JJ show, and then Saturday we're gonna do an after show right after Archie on the dungeon. You guys are more than welcome to hop on. Mathis, just so you know, I found the Royal Rumble, and whenever you Hoff wants to jump on, anybody's welcome on the panel. We got a clean copy of the Royal Rumble, so that's ready to go. Just let whoever you're in contact with on WhatsApp, let them know if you're open. Weekends works better for me, and we'll do a Royal Rumble with everybody watching it, because that was that was something that was very, very went across all lines, right? That was one of Green Room's greatest legacies that he left was the Royal Rumble, so it was pretty cool. Unfortunately, we have to listen to Tim announce it too, along with Green Room and Hoff. We can't edit that out, but
dang.
I'll see you. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
We'll be around.
Are you doing an apology tour? Is that what this is?
That's it. This is the finale. I've been doing an apology tour for the past week. Haven't you caught all these shows? I've been on every channel apologizing.
You're a lot less controversial now. I can't even make content out of you, Hard. I got to make it up. It's getting hard to make content.
It's tough when the people say, "Listen, treat OC with kid gloves."
No, hey, listen, to be honest, there was only the courtesy was extended for only the first show to have a closed panel. After that, it's like anybody else. You don't have to be nice to him. Nobody said you have to be nice to him. I keep repeating that. 10 is a equal opportunity troll. He never throws his weight around and says, okay, treat this person like this, or all he does is bring people back, and they have to float on their own. You know what I mean? They have to sink or swim. That's all. I mean, unfortunately, no, what the fuck? It's the Archieverse. Or like I said today, hey, look, you're acting like this is the only show in town. These guys all got their own channels. They could choose not to fucking come here real easy. You make it hard on them. So I don't get that mentality, but I got to bounce. Thank you for having me on. Chat.
Thanks for
you guys. Maybe we'll hopefully. Fuck. I don't think I could take another night of Marcelo, but I might go visit him later on. This guy's the best. Look at this. Oshin's Chotskis. Dude, I'm telling you, I thought it was Brody. It was Oshin's Chotskis. Oh, Oshin's family crest. Oshin's credit score. See, this is why you could never have a pure watch talk.
Well, there's a difference between some of the really hate-filled personal stuff and then stuff that's clever and kind of funny, right? I mean, this is just clever trolling.
It'll go away. Yeah. There's a lot of very clever and a lot of people with great sense of humors, and I want to thank. Look, I'm gonna from my own personal vantage point, I'm gonna thank OC for having the courage to come on the dungeon. First time was softball. Second time he did it on his own, and
third time no holds barred.
Yeah, I mean, look. To me, it's like I said, welcoming mat. You get a box of juice, you get a Happy Meal, you get a blanket. The welcoming mat is always out. And Mathis, I found that actually Mookie found the clean copy of that Royal Rumble. I'm really looking forward to that night. So you talk to Mathis, right? Let OC know, and then we'll do something, Mathis. Hopefully for the weekend, whatever works for you, buddy. I want to thank you for coming on that night. That was actually the cherry on top of. It was one of the most fun streams I ever had because it was so diverse and a lot of people bouncing in and out, a lot of comments and stuff. So,
listen, people are willing to give all these channels a fair shot. They want to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. They want to jump on, experience these things, especially people who've been on panels before. They want to try the other channels out and say, hey, listen, I want to say hi and see if there are people with whom I can bond and, open up the doors to, building bridges. It's what it's all. It's what the last 4 weeks has been about.
We'll see. I view this as the Church of Hate is a social club where everybody's welcome. I'll see you.
All right, have a good one. Take care. All right. Well, listen, the apology tour finale continues. Please I'm picking up my trophy here as I've reached the finale. I've won the championship of the apology tournament. If anyone wants to jump on, this is your chance. Otherwise, listen, any questions that get typed in the chat, I will answer. No question will be avoided if I read it. Crappy luxuries here in the chat. Crappy says the OC apology tour. Where's my apology? Hey, where's my apology? What did I ever do? Crappy, come jump on the panel. Tell me what I did, and I will evaluate it. And if appropriate, I will gladly apologize. But I can't think of anything that I did to you. We had a good. We're on friendly terms, and I like Crappy, so I can't think of anything that I ever did to Crappy. This community is so much fun. We have so many different audiences. Yeah, Mr. G, you just go where the fun is. You go where your friends are. You go where the great conversations are. It's not a secret. Well, please join me in welcoming Bezos to the panel. Welcome, sir. How are you?
I'm well, thanks. How are you?
Doing good. So you're someone who's always in the chat. You're always free to. You're always expressing yourself. You've got strong opinions. You've been involved, not only as an observer, but sometimes as an actual participant in some of these activities over the years, especially with their respect to the wizard. So I respect the fact that you're someone who is involved and very passionate and has strong feelings about everything that's happened. So I welcome you and happy to talk to you.
Thanks for welcoming me and having me on. I kind of wanted to just start with asking a simple question.
Sure.
OC, what are you apologizing for?
I don't know, but if someone tells me what I need to apologize for, I'd be happy to analyze it, review it, and discuss it. But I mean, as a lot of the people have said, there are other people that really should be apologizing for what they did. I'm sure if I look back on 2.5 years of live streams, are there things that I've done that I would do differently? Of course. Happy to talk about those things. So I mean, I've talked to a lot of people behind the scenes over the past several weeks. I won't mention their names, but people who've had issues with me, and those issues have all been put in the past. So, and everyone agrees that it's a time to move forward. It's a time for reconciliation. The silver lining is this is an opportunity again to build a bigger unified community where people aren't being ridiculed or mocked for going back and forth from one stream to another, or being in the chat, or being on the panel. And I think that's a healthy thing. I think it's a good thing that we are building bridges with each other and fostering bigger community and stronger bonds between us. And I'm not going to apologize for that. I think I'm very happy that the people in the colony, Tanzil, Hoff, JJ, Archie, and so many people are supportive of that concept. It's time to move forward, not look. And if people have these petty beefs or they have vendettas or whatever that are based on misinformation or based on inaccuracies, that's their problem. But bring it out into the open. Let's talk about it. Let's air it out, and then let's hash it out and fucking move on.
Okay. No, I'm with that. And truthfully, I'm excited to be welcoming different people, people that I've personally have been friendly with, and just kind of do by association. It's haven't been seeing them around. I kind of felt that, maybe my opinion, maybe a lot of people's opinion, that, I mean, the elephant in the room is Oshin. A lot of his actions are really what got things just in a direction that built toxicity. I remember having a conversation, just a one-off talk with the OC, and about saying, about hate streams and, and how people are, and in groups are kind of not having the nicest things to say, but truthfully, who are they talking about? Who's giving them content? Who's giving them air? It's really coming from one source. It's a war against the gray market that I feel really, it was just somebody's personal agenda that Tim took a hold of and has been rolling with. And you kind of went along for that ride. And really, where has it taken us?
Do you want me to respond?
Please.
Okay. So I understand your point. I think when you talk about the quote war against the gray market, I think that you need to look at it through a couple of different lenses. Okay. So where I was involved was obviously, and you were involved personally in this as well. When we're talking about scammers, obviously that was a part of the gray market that I felt very strongly about. And when TPG was arrested, we saw that as an opportunity. And I say we because this was something where actually Tim and I were kind of aligned. We may have been aligned with different agendas or different uh, preconditions or whatever, but the goal was still the same. And that was we didn't want collectors to be scammed or to lose their watches due to consignment. And that's where we were where we banded together and wanted to support collectors and warn them about the risks of consignment. And that wasn't a war against all the gray market, but that was a call to action to be concerned and to be protective and not give your watches to shady people. You and I know experience firsthand what that can be like. So that part of it, I was 100% on board with. Now, the part of the gray market to which you may be also referring is unfair attacks on people's businesses, like BQ watches, unfair attacks on watchmakers and service people. I don't know, D or Alex, the watchmaker, or some of these other people, or talk about the bezel, the dodgy bezel, the fake bezel, and all that stuff, which I was 100% against. And you'll never, I never said a negative word about BQ watches. I was never involved in saying anything about, the bezel situation. As a matter of fact, I've said quite the opposite. I said that BQ watches did a fantastic job handling that, considering that watch was in the customer's possession for over a year. So I think there needs to be a little bit of nuance when you say the war against the gray market. I was definitely, in favor of protecting collectors against consignment, but I was not involved at all in disparaging BQ watches or talking about the bezel or supporting attacks on Alex or any of the other stuff that went, or Paul Thorpe or any of that other nonsense.
Okay. Well, it was presented. I see what you're saying in theory, but it was presented in a very broad way. It wasn't narrowing down how to navigate, how to distinguish people that are trustworthy and good in the market and those that, quite frankly, we should be cautious of. It was kind of just a very broad statement of gray market. And truthfully, I look at it as Oshin's little vendetta against certain YouTubers that he had a little tiff with and couldn't get along with. And all of a sudden, we're making it this broad thing against the gray market. Why don't we focus on the facts instead of making it this broad thing that's grouping all these people together, pissing people off? And, a lot of times, I'm seeing you say me and we. It bounces around. It's me when I didn't do it, I didn't say it, and it's we when you want to take the credit for a bigger picture, something that you might not even be involved with, but it's we. But it was me. I wasn't there. I wasn't involved. I didn't do it. But you were a big part of things with Ted. You could have made corrections. You could have set the record straight.
I mean, it depends on the issue. I mean, Tim's channel, he's in charge of editorial control of his own channel. He decides what the topics are and he has his own opinions. I can't change his opinions and I can't change the content of the show. Look, if I have a difference of opinion on what the direction of the channel or what the topics are going to be, it's not my show. It's not my show. I can't change it. It's like, so if you have an issue with that, you have to deal with Tim. Listen, in in totality, I would much rather people be leery of dealing with the gray market than to just trust YouTubers who are in the watch space. So I don't apologize for that. I think people should do their due diligence, much more due diligence than I did, right? Because I was almost scammed. And if people find reputable secondary dealers, whether it's Nashville Watch or European Watch or whomever it is, and those companies have impeccable reputations and they have unparalleled track records, good for them. But when you're in a situation where you've just seen someone scam $5 million worth of watches and it's making national news, I think the more prudent thing to say is, listen, if you have watches on consignment, don't risk it. Pull them back, make sure they're safe, and deal with the consequences later. So, I mean, I think that was the right thing to do. If some dealers' business was decreased as a result of it, I don't really care. My interest is in protecting the collector community, the enthusiast community, not protecting the interests of the secondary market.
And that's fair. That is a valid thing to say. However, it's just in the presentation of the gray market in itself is a necessary thing for buyers. And I know there's, a solution, quote unquote, to it that is in the works. And that's exciting to see and where it develops. But, it kind of just seems like a narrative, like where, gray market is bad, evil. And then, so what do? Here's the solution. Come on, guys. Let's, follow the rainbow bridge and, head to a different solution when really it's, and I'm the first one to admit I was one of the people that put trust in Stefano and I got screwed. Fortunately, many of us have been compensated to a certain degree, which is what it is. It sucks that we went through that. It sucks that you went through that, OC. I mean, it wasn't cut and dry. There was a lot of back end conversation, and I'm glad that you, were made right and made whole with that. However, we got to look at those people. We got to be angry at those people, upset, disappointed, but we can't just go after people, make wars, make it a war to educate, not make it a war to break down. And when we have people like Oshin on the panel, literally breaking down panelists, dude, like, just say, I'm out. You could have built a channel long, long ago, made an outlet for people. Instead of just following them on the way out, you could have been the guy to build it. But you just wrote it out, man. Like, it's disappointing. And truthfully, I don't think you're a horrible, evil guy, but we got to do better. And I want to see you do better. I know you're going to be sticking around. I know you're consistent. I know you're a face in the space. So let's get better, man. Let's get better.
Well, I appreciate the feedback. And listen, are there things that I would have done differently? Sure. But listen, I still consider Tim a friend. I wish the best for him. I was obviously a very loyal friend and panelist for 2.5 years, and I helped him grow his channel from 5,500 subs to 10,000 subs. And going from a place where he was getting 100 people a night and was losing to Archie by 150 viewers to completely reversing it, where he was getting 250, 300 people a night, and Archie was getting 100 or 150. So I'm proud of the work that we did to grow his channel. And I believe that when he listened to my advice, we were a great team. When he wanted to go off on a wild tangent and follow these kind of personal vendettas, it hurt the channel. But that's 100% Tim's prerogative. I mean, to say that I could have left and started my own channel, that's not something I ever wanted to do. So that's so I was very comfortable doing what I was doing. I was happy doing what I was doing, and I mean, to say that, you know, I should have done something differently. I mean, I'm not sure exactly what you want me to do in that situation. Um, I know if you saw it as black and white, the us versus the cartel or whatever, then that's how you interpreted it. I think a lot of the people saw the nuance in the message.
You know, in Oshin's messages, from what I've noticed, they're very black and white. They're very black and white. Like it's maybe a way that he processes things, that he just condenses things in these big groups, these big lump sums. So he attacks them. He doesn't see gray, and his influence really put that into play. OC, I don't know. Maybe you didn't notice it. Maybe some of the people in the chat did, and maybe they didn't.
I think.
However, I feel like I did.
Believe me, we did plenty of after shows where we talked about what happened during the show, and opinions were shared. I think the people who watch know. The people who watch aren't dumb. Okay, Tim's channel and his supporters up until recently were some of the most intelligent, knowledgeable collectors. These people didn't get to be successful by accident. Okay, they're not lucky.
100%.
These are
No,
very
100%.
smart people. When people are on the panel, they know how to suss out truth from fiction. They know how to suss out the difference between elaborate storytelling and the truth, and they could see through everything. So I don't think it's a situation where people were bamboozled into thinking that BQ Watches was some kind of evil empire that's scamming and screwing people over. I don't think there's anybody that believes that.
But it's being said, it's being endorsed, it's being nodded on, and it gets to a point like, and granted, I get it. It was hard, to walk for me just as a viewer. I'm not even close to as invested as you and some of the other like regular panelists and big donors. Just as a supporter, somebody that got to spend time with Tim, hang out with him, have fun, it was hard to walk away. It really was. But it got to the point, it was never attack against me. Oh, like Oshin, you, Tim, like it was never attack against me. It was attack against other people. And but for me, I wasn't comfortable with that. And I get looking at the show as like an entertainment value, but for me, it got to the point where it's just like enough. Like, I'm not going to stand by this. I'm going to kind of express how I feel. And it's like peace. And maybe I'll, occasionally appear in a chat and just kind of watch just to watch. Maybe I'll get some watch talk. Maybe I'll get some drama. Who knows? It's a gong show, right? Like, but it just comes to like just doing the right thing, doing it early. And when you get people like that, and if you've been around the business world, you gotta nip them in the bud, man. Like, I get Oshin. It's like he has a big R around him, and Tim's infatuated with the guy, but it's kind of like, dude, this guy is just toxic. He's bad for business. Like, I'm out. See you. Like, we can do this elsewhere. And I know it wasn't your intention to make a channel, but you gotta, you have good people around you. You have like-minded people. All these after shows. How many after shows do you have to have? And then it got to the point where people are literally getting drop kicked out of Tim's group. What the heck? Like, it's ridiculous. Like, how does it come to that? Like, what? Like, I don't know, man. Like, and it was just a mess, man. Like, I'm just disappointed. I'm sorry.
Well, you can be disappointed in me. You're entitled to that perspective. I can tell you that, Oshin brings pros and cons to Tim's channel. And, I realize that a lot of people don't want to see that, but it is a very nuanced situation. Oshin brought a lot of new viewers and a lot of new subscribers and a lot of important people that discovered Tim's channel as a result of Oshin. And those people are actually really good people. And many of them are friends of mine, and I value the friendships that I have with them. And those people wouldn't have found Tim's channel and wouldn't know me if it weren't for Oshin. So and Oshin did help grow Tim's channel. Oshin does when he's talking watch content, I think he's very engaging. He's really good. He does great videos. He's obviously very, very talented. I know that people don't want to, I know that people can separate that part of his personality from other parts, but there are other people who can't. And they just say, listen, if Oshin is engaged in this, then I want nothing to do with him, and I don't want to be a part of listening to any channel that he's on. And you're allowed to vote with your, with your eyeballs and your ears and tune out. I chose not to. I chose to stay there and support. And I know if you feel I'm disappointed, that you're disappointed that I was there too long or I could have done something sooner. Sorry, but I disagree, and I don't apologize for being there, because there I was and all of the people here in this chat were all people who were still in Tim's chat, still supporting him. So if you wanted to go other places, and some people did, then that was cool. But that's not the reason why all of these people left within the past 4 or 5 weeks.
And that's fair, and that's their views, and I respect them. And I get, a lot of it too being like early adopters to people, like early on, like really enjoying like Oshin's videos. I mean, for me personally, I mean, I'll be fair, and I'm not trying to be like, low blow. Oshin was okay. Like, I followed his channel. I thought his videos were a little artsy for my taste. Like, I'm more of a Tim Masso guy. Like, I want to just kind of, let's get to the facts. Like, I want to see the watch on a 6 centimeter wrist, right? Like, and just kind of check it out, go over the specs, boom, boom, boom. Let's get it done. I don't need to see it in a puddle. Hey, it's cool. I mean, I'll watch the videos if I'm bored or whatever, but it's okay. It's fine. And then it just got into a politically charged, very extremist. What the hell is going on? Like, are you serious? But hey, what? I'm not cool with it. I get people even looking at it as entertainment. Like, he's a talking head to some people. He's just going on. He's harmless. What is he doing? He's talking about insular Americans, yet insular in a little apartment in Venice, vacation place, living in a small abode, but it's all good, again, and that's the thing. I'm trying to look at things at all angles. I don't think, again, you're not the origin. Tim's not the origin. I think we all know who the origin of a lot of the hate and the negativity is. You have these other channels that are calling it out, defending people that are getting burned. And why is that? Oh, well, you got somebody that's a little anti-Semitic and kind of doxing people, no big deal, right? We'll just kind of roll with it. And hell, it's kind of entertaining. It's crazy. It's unpredictable. But it really kind of comes obviously with a lot of just a lot of peril, and it's not a sustainable structure. And I'm kind of surprised to see that you didn't see that maybe that wouldn't be very sustainable. But
don't assume what I saw and didn't see. So listen, I'm quite perceptive, but listen, I think what really accelerated things were the events of October 7 and the Hamas terrorist attacks, and I think people when Ashin's Instagram started to become much more political, and he started representing extreme or controversial views, I think that's when people started to take things very personally.
Sure.
And it is an election year, so political things are a little bit more sensitive now, and people are more invested in what's going on politically. It just was bad timing, and so that created a situation where people didn't want to separate Ashin the panelist or Ashin the content creator from some of these extreme political views that he had. And I think the audience spoke up, and they spoke up with their eyeballs, tuning out and going to other shows, and that's a fair thing. And then if that starts to achieve critical mass, then you have to either course correct or you go down with the ship. And you have to be able to read the room and see what's going on, and take the advice of people who are there to help you.
Yes, you do. Hey, it is what it is at that point, right?
Yep. Is there any other topics? I know you've been vocal on Ashin kind of being a source of a lot of the negativity and the reason why you weren't watching Tim's show. Is there any other? Feel this is the apology tour finale. So let it, if there's something else.
Yeah.
Let's
do
it.
I would say, I mean, it's when people kind of start throwing those red flags, it's kind of, it's understandable that viewers want to turn the other cheek, give a chance. And I've been there. Like, I actually remember hanging out with Tim. It was actually a Gonzo stream when he was in Boston. You got to see Boston Collector and hang out a bit. And I got a chance to kind of hang with them. And at that point, I was on the fence. I did see a little bit with Oshin, and I was like, wow, he really crossed the line. Like, ooh. And I did tune out for a little bit. And, I said, well, I'm going to circle back, kind of see how this goes. And I hung out with Tim, and I was like, Tim, like, I'm seeing these flags, man. Like, just please be careful. Like, I don't really like the way this could potentially be going. And then sure enough, it was right when, the comments he made that really spoke to Dis. And I was like, I'm out. Like, see you later. And that hit. And, I think at that time, I've always been pretty open, pretty supportive to the different streams and content creators out there. And I saw it. I saw how things were said, and I saw how it was interpreted, because I'm not of Jewish faith, and some of the words that were said and the interpretation is just disgusting. And I was like, I'm out. Like, I just can't do this. I'm sorry. You're a jerk. And then he continues to like dox Blondie. And I mean, granted, I get it. Like, she was coming back knowing that he was probably going to do the same thing. And sure enough, he does the same thing, no corrective action. Does the same thing, no corrective action. And yeah, I get it. You're not his boss. But at the same time, Oshin's a panelist. He works for you guys. You got to do the right thing. You got to say, see you later, man. You're toxic. You're killing the channel. You're feeding the quote unquote hate streams content, because really like 90% of it was him. Curly, he loves, like, and that's maybe love's a strong word, but he likes Tim. He's cool with you. Oshin, like, not so much. Like, that's really where it comes from. And granted, I'm tough on you because I get it. Like, and I know I've, kind of jabbed a little in the comments, and, it's, and that's the thing too. Like, it's not about keeping score. That's not it, but it's about getting better. And if we're presented difficult situations, I want to see them handled better. If you're going to be a face of like this verse here, and doing better by the people that are supporting you, and doing better by just the community in general. If you're crossing over, it's just a shame that we ran into that. And maybe looking at you higher than you even look at yourself. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to, I was not in a place to determine who the panelists were on Tim's show. And even if I were, I wouldn't have said that Oshin is not allowed on the show. That wouldn't have been my position.
And that's understandable. Yeah.
So
no, that's understandable.
Yeah. And then the second thing is I never supported doxing in any way. I was never, I don't condone that at all. Never participated in it. Wasn't even on the panel when that happened. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, that's
I
what.
wasn't even,
Oh, see, not to interrupt, but that's what you always turn back to. It's I wasn't there. It wasn't me. But some of it is like, remember how we use guilt by association? So a lot of it, guilt by association, it really comes down to like the people that do have a say. How are they addressing it? Like, are they turning the other cheek and not making any action? Are they making action? Guilt by association, like, you're associated, he's doing that, nothing's being corrected, you're not leaving the panel or taking a stand. So what is that saying about you?
Well, listen, I mean, you have to look at the totality of the situation, okay? And you may not like the answer, but the reality is Oshin was a panelist on the show. He's a guest on the show.
Yep,
It wasn't really
exactly.
appropriate. Okay, it wasn't appropriate for Blondie, who had a wrench, to be trolling him from the chat. I'm not defending
I agree with
doxing,
that.
okay? I'm not
Yeah, no, I
defending
agree
what
with that.
Oshin did, but
Mhm.
but these are two people that had a personal relationship, airing out their personal beefs on the show, and it was
Mhm.
not appropriate. So,
Right.
she should not have been in the chat. She should not have been a moderator. and she shouldn't have been constantly ridiculing him. And that, I'm not saying she got what she deserved. It was wrong for him to do what he did, but none of that would have happened if she hadn't been
Right.
constantly ridiculing him.
Why doesn't Oshin have the mental capacity?
So wait a minute. Let's not
capacity to okay, go ahead. Yep.
I mean, let's not get into now judging why Oshin did this or why didn't.
Why did he dox people? Why did he cross the line? Why was he baited like a little bitch, basically, more or less? I would use that word. Yeah. Go ahead.
No, it's like I mean, you want to hold me accountable for Sheen's thought process and his behavior.
Not fully.
I'm not going to let you do it. So
not fully. No.
He did what he did. And by the way, what Tim did. What Tim did was he immediately took down the stream. Okay. He immediately edited out the doxing, and he reprocessed the stream and posted it. That's exactly what he should have done. Okay. So
that's a way of handling it. However, it's a way somebody that can't control themselves, and I'll circle back, mental capacity of coming up with rebuttal to somebody that's baiting him into doxing, because he's a weak-minded person and that's all he has to fall back on. I'm going to dox you because my brain capacity, I'm a fake intellectual, so my brain capacity doesn't allow me to really come up with a comeback. I'm going to dox you. Or somebody in the chat says something, I'm going to say a violent thing. He said to me, stab myself in the head with a fork, because he didn't have the mental capacity to address it differently, to ignore it, or anything else. So it's just
let's be careful about the standard that we use, because I could easily say that there are other channels who have people in the chat and who have people who are allowed on the panels who routinely call other people pedophiles. They call them child sex traffickers. They engage in doxing themselves, and they are engaged in all kinds of conduct that go outside of YouTube and go into the real world, including stalking and a lot of other things. But when those people are allowed on those channels, I don't see the same criticism. I don't see people saying, hey, you content channel owner, why are you allowing this person in the chat? Hey, content channel owner, how come you're allowing this person on the panel? Right? And so that's a double standard. If you're going to complain about, Tim allowing Oshin on, or Oshin's conduct, or people not standing up, where are the people standing up to the doxing on those channels? Where are the people standing up to accusing people of being child sex traffickers? Where are the people standing up to those who are calling other people pedophiles?
That's a great question.
When someone called Tim, called him a criminal, accused him of criminal sexual assault, and accused him of rape, that's a person that's routinely allowed on channel after channel after channel. Where is the outrage?
Yeah, no, and I get that. I get that anger. I get that frustration. However, let's circle back just to here. Okay, Oshin is in the guise of a scholarly person, a reputable source, a confidant of knowledge, and he's his camera fully on. It's not this anonymous person that you don't know. And I get it. It is attacks, that are unwarranted and not true. They don't have a place. They need to be addressed, and they should do so quickly, fully, and to the point where, quite frankly, it's addressed. However, you have somebody that's literally taking advantage of their place, their face in the network, and is spewing propaganda and hate speech. And it's they're welcome. It's like an anonymous person saying a crazy thing. Somebody could say, hey, Bezos is a serial killer. He's crazy, blah, blah, blah. And you know what? I would say, dude, you're full of it. That's absolutely false. I'm not that person. And I get that. And I get where you're coming from. And I get certain things, especially, I get it. You're a family person. You're not a bad guy. It's just actions that I feel are areas of opportunity, of course. But yeah, I get that. Do you hold
the same standard to the people who are on the other panels when someone calls someone a pedophile or accuses somebody of rape, are you holding those people on those panels to the same standard that you want to hold me?
I don't. Well, holding you, like, I'm not saying you're going after. I was actually talking about Oshin, but
I'm talking.
with those
Well,
people,
let's
yeah,
let's
go
apply
ahead.
the let's apply the
We
standard
can
equally.
pivot. We can pivot. Yeah, go ahead. Go.
Let's
So
apply
those
this.
people, yes, I would
Let's
want.
actually it's a
I
rhetorical
Go
question.
ahead.
You
No,
don't
no.
have to answer because I can.
I'll try to. I want to answer any question you have the best I can.
It's like when you have someone who's routinely in the chat and going on panels accusing me of being a pedophile.
I
Are you
don't
going
agree.
to
Have
you
any
continue to
evidence
watch and
that
support those shows? You think the people on the
that
panel should be held accountable for that person's actions?
I haven't seen Neo on the panel carrying on about that narrative, and also to the point where you couldn't defend yourself. I don't know where he's coming up with that. I don't believe it. I don't see any facts. It's just noise.
So
It's
so
not
he's just allowed
somebody
to do it?
that he shouldn't be allowed. I think you should address it. Hell yeah, go right in. OC, go right in on him for saying those things.
I
And
have.
day one,
I've
gone.
confronted him head
And
on.
I applaud you for that, 100%. Like, I support you for that. If those are false narratives, which I think we all assume are,
They're
go in and tell him, take
criminal
action, get a lawyer,
allegations.
go. Then if that's the case, you need to do what you need to do to address that. 100%
I'm just
support
like,
that.
so like let's cut to the chase. I mean, because
Go
you've
ahead.
been in the chat consistently for, I mean, probably over a year, and it's clear you have something against Asheen, and that's totally fine. But I'm not accountable for Asheen. I'm not responsible for Asheen.
I agree.
And
I agree.
I think based on the comments that I've seen you write over the past year, I'm not going to say you're obsessed with it, but it's clearly something you can't get past. And I
I
think
feel like it's a
that's
lot of injustice. Oh yeah, no, big time.
I think
I stand
a lot of it
the
is
people
something
that
you
he's
need to work
wronged.
out.
Absolutely.
So
Work out supporting people. Got it. Cool. Work out being an ally to people that he's hurt. Got it. Message heard. Loud and clear.
Gatsby says, clearly you have issues with Asheen, perhaps with a reason. Why are you trying to make OC responsible for Asheen's opinions and behavior? Thank you very much.
Not fully.
Gatsby.
No, definitely not fully. It did circle to him as kind of a reason why Tim was in this mess. And I felt as though if he had somebody which he respected as he does you, kind of took an earlier stand against it, it maybe and granted, I love you guys. I want to build a community, and maybe this is just meant to happen. However, if if things were addressed earlier, I think it would probably be a different Tim and OC and other awesome panelists all together in harmony, doing good, and maybe a little banter with Arch. But hey, maybe this is better. I don't know. Hey, it's life. We live, we learn, we support each other when we're wrong. That's what I'm all about.
DCNLV says, quite frankly, many folks lost interest and were banned for reasons outside of Asheen. The blind loyalty tests and manipulations behind the scenes got old. Thank you, DCNLV. Yeah, so that's the point.
I can see how that would. No, I can see how that would, and I see both sides. I'm speaking out in how I feel. I'm speaking out of how some other people feel too, I'm sure. And I respect you guys. I welcome you in open arms. I hope to connect with Mathis. That's somebody that I miss, and I know probably isn't really digging me. But he's a good guy, and I respect where he's coming from. Though, there's just so many good people here, and it sucks that I want to bring people together, man. Just you're part of it, OC, bringing people together. But remember me and we, where it's me, where it's me, where I'm not involved, but it's we when I kind of want to take credit for the good. Do you see what I'm saying?
It's my prerogative to take credit for things for which I want to take credit, and my prerogative to distance myself from things where I'm not involved.
Okay. Oh yeah. No, I see that you want distance things from negative and incorporate the good. Got it. Funny how that works.
No, it's not funny. It's facts.
So it's only been the good you've only helped with the good, and the bad's kind of been elsewhere.
But name. But
Yeah.
you're characterizing things as bad. I'm not.
Oh,
I mean,
so you weren't there when certain Oshin actions, certain Tim actions on a dance floor. I wasn't there, but you're part of the network. Or when Buckley gets an amazing piece. Oh, we're doing this. We got this piece. Like, we're donating to charity. No, dude, like, Diego's donating to charity.
what are you talking about?
Diego is
the people
donating to charity on that stream.
the people who financially supported that channel were donating to charity.
Oh, well, no, you're right. I rephrased that. And if you donated, then you are part of we. So I do rephrase that. But being it's Diego's platform, he is the deciding factor of how money is distributed, and
he's
person unboxing with Buckley.
He deserves kudos for that.
He does, big time. We is kind of diminishing his kudos. So that's just where I'm coming from, man. I don't hate you, OC. I just want to get better, man. I just want to get better.
I don't hate anybody. I think your definition of getting better may be a little bit too unreasonable or unrealistic. It's very idealistic, but I have no problems. I have no problems with anything that I've done for the things that you've brought up today. So, I mean, I don't think you and I've talked privately as well. And
yeah, we have.
I'm happy to continue to have private dialogue with you on any issue that you have. But thanks for sharing your opinion. Logan Hall says guilt by association, which is not fair to OC. Basil's was watching that stream. I was watching that stream. Is it not to say we were guilty too?
Admin, administrative, confidant, like close to Tim. That's where I was coming from versus viewer and Gonzo. Couple one night had a dinner with one time. That's where I was coming from there. Got it.
Carolyn Martin's in the chat. Has anybody on this panel heard the expression "walk a mile in someone else's shoes"? Please, can we stop trying to rewrite OC's actions? Thank you, Carolyn. Really appreciate it. Brody says OC makes a good point, and I heard a lot of hateful things on the streams, but nothing compared to Sheen saying Hamas did not do enough on October 7th. Yeah, and by the way, Brody, I was actually on the panel when he said that. So that's a perfect example of why a lot of panelists and a lot of supporters started kind of walking away in droves. I mean, if you're on a panel and all of a sudden the topic of terrorist attacks comes up and my face is on the panel while it looks like people are laughing or joking about a subject like that, that doesn't make me look good. That's a terrible optics, right? So that's Absolutely. One of the reasons why, there's nobody left. It's like, it's a combination of those things, right?
So. I'd have to agree. No, that's, it's, I guess, the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yep.
Let me weigh in.
Yeah, just real quick. King Bang says, Basil's, I like you, man. You need to move on from Asheen. Okay, thanks.
That's fair.
Brian, go ahead.
Let me weigh in real quick because I'm going to tell something publicly that I've never said publicly before. And this goes to the involvement of behind the scenes of the Tim Wright show. When Tim was first starting the first Las Vegas trip idea, and my background is in, I'd only done probably an average of 6 trade shows a year or consumer events a year. I was in the process of planning my own event in Las Vegas. I run an event in Las Vegas now. Mm-hmm. I sat down and I sent Tim a 2-page email of exactly what I thought he could do with an event that would be a structured event, a structured weekend event with some flexibility for free time and coordinated stuff, and outlined it. And I actually designed it so that it would be revenue positive for Tim Wright. And that's when I got a big insight to him, because
he doesn't listen to anything.
His response to me was, yeah, I saw your message. It was too long. I couldn't read it. Oof. So I backed away real quietly because I knew at that point that I was not going to use any of my contacts in Vegas to try to help organize anything. Now, when it came to from that point on, I realized, okay, that's fine. That's his style. That's how he wants to, he wants to do it however he sees fit. And I just kept that in the back of my head, that this is a place to come and have fun. And if I don't like the fun that's going on, I just leave and disappear. And I'm pretty sure that OC had similar conversations in the background. I know other people had similar conversations with Tim about things that could be done to format it better, make it better, more structured. I almost recommended one special guest to the show, but then I saw how Tim interviewed some people, and I was like, I can't put my name out there. So the stuff that went on, if Tim took suggestions from other people, he gave credit to it, but he also he ran it the way he wanted to.
I think that's where Breitling telling time came from. He was pretty upset with his lack of insight.
And I do want OC to apologize to me, because I had a strict rule that I would not be on the streams if Cam was on the stream. And I was on there, and then I got busy doing something, and Cam got led on, and then OC disappeared, and it was me and Cam and Tim. Everybody else left, and I'm sitting there going,
what do we do here?
Yeah.
Finally something legitimate for which I desperately need to apologize. You have my sincere apologies for that, Brian.
Thank you. And that was the line in the sand that I had with Tim. I told Tim flat out, if Cam's on, I won't be on. Total waste of my time.
Fair enough.
And also one of the reasons I hoped my daughter grew up to be a celibate lesbian.
Oh man. So I didn't want this to necessarily be a retrospective about Tim, but Basil, I appreciate your jumping on and just airing out a lot of the things that reasons that you were disappointed in me or whatever. That's all of those I accept, and it's good to hear them, and I appreciate your airing them out. It's what it's all about. So
yeah, I owe it to a lot of people, to be fair, and the truth hurts sometimes, but I'm not going to discredit some of the positives, and a lot of it really comes with the people that that really kind of supported Tim and were let down, so.
It's opportunity to move forward constructively, do so in a positive way. Like when everything happened to us, we didn't cry about it. We didn't complain. We just continued the friendships and moved somewhere else. And that's what we did. And I don't think there's anybody that regrets anything, so that's the silver lining out of everything, is that we've got a community and we've got a network of channels that's better. It has better content without the negativity, without the toxicity. Mm-hmm. And we have genuine friendships and genuinely great panels and good conversation.
The thing is, we're all as big as each other, and it's not one person. It's respecting each other, helping each other out, holding each other accountable, and just doing right. That's really what you got to live with, doing the right thing.
Yeah. But, Brian is someone who also is not just on Tim's panel, still has the keys to Tim's channel, by the way.
I don't know if I have the keys, but I can bring myself in and out. Does that mean I have the keys?
Yes, it does. So he has the keys to Tim's channel. He is also a moderator on Oshin's channel. So there you go.
I have the keys. I have the keys to the tea and tickers.
Right. So, but Brian never gets tarred with any brushes, right? I mean, I'm not a moderator on Oshin's channel.
Yeah, no, and I mean, my thing, it's like the sustainability of Tim. I just kind of saw potential in the sustainability, and I kind of saw the red flags that would hinder said sustainability.
I don't think I get tarred by stuff because I'm busy tarring myself usually,
With
Fair
feathers.
enough.
and I deserve it.
Brody asks, and maybe this is a rhetorical question for the panel: why allow yourself to be let down by Tim? He's not entertaining. It was everyone that left that made it entertaining and fun. Yeah.
Well, let down, I mean, it's just how you view it, right? Like let down could be just like you let down, you moved on, you got to greener pastures, but it's like it can't like erase history. Like Tim was fun, right? Like we had fun on Tim. All of us did. Hell yeah. We can't erase history. So yeah, we were let down because we had a lot of us were forced to move on. Some of us decided to move on. Some of us, it's just, there's a lot of things. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people that were quote unquote forced out could go back if they want, but it's like you have enough and you just,
I can't think of
see you later.
I can't think of a single person. I can't think of out of the 50 or 60 people. We're 85 people watching this stupid channel. This was an unknown channel, literally did not exist 3 weeks ago. Okay, and there are 85 people from the community
Yes.
watching it. So
Trending up.
I can't think of a single
No link or
person
anything. Yeah,
of the
no link
85
for
people.
March, man.
If you're one of the 85 people watching now, that, and maybe there are 2 or 3 of them that would consider going back and watching and supporting Tim and being on Tim's panel after what he did, after he treated the rest of us like garbage and lied about us behind our backs and spread the most ridiculous conspiracy theories and smears about so many great people, then that's, listen, you're allowed to go anywhere you want and support whomever you want. But I would say out of the 80 people watching this channel, there may be a few of them, 2 or 3, maybe a handful.
Fair.
The overwhelming majority are after what they did, after what was done to them, it's over.
That's
The trust can't be re-earned.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. I know a lot. It's funny because a lot of times it's always like kind of like how you notice a lot in Archie's chat where people, it's almost kind of referred to as like customer service and like that customer experience, right? And when you lose that customer, when you break that, when you just go a little too far and somebody says, you know what, I'm out, like, see you later. Those people really aren't coming back unless if it happens again to them. That's what I don't want to happen. I don't want it to happen again to the good people in the community. And I want it to happen to the people in the Archieverse, and maybe it's the Archieverse community. I don't know how we're going to rebaggage it. And I know Tim even still calls it the community. So it'll be interesting.
The community is the people. So the community isn't centered around one particular person. I know that people watch Archie, love to refer to Archie as the pontiff and as this thing where everyone bows down to him, etc. I've never seen him that way, and he's never.
I don't even think
kind of
he sees himself that way. Yeah, I think he just kind of he gets a lot of credit because he was just such an early, if not one of the first to really kind of blow up on the watch YouTube verse, and it was always was an early adopter of the whole live stream thing, and a lot of the credit is due. He's just been consistent over the years. I like the word legacy. I really do. And it's part of kind of what Archie is. Love him, hate him. It's obviously, if we really kind of connect the dots, we're here because of that guy. Isn't that crazy?
And Tim, to his credit, gave got his start on Archie. Gave Archie, the credit for allowing him to be on his panel and learning the ropes there. Then he went out on his own. I think Tim deserves, all the credit for building the channel on his own and attracting new viewers. And
hard, man. Even though people always like to call him lazy, and we joke about it. I've joked about it with you even about it. It's a slow grind. You don't always see him going. He was going. I mean, so it's really just the little things he didn't do well. The simple things, right? Like just making good decisions, doing right by his viewers, kind of looking things from the outside versus just kind of his immediate. And kind of something I said to you, remember, OC, I said, remember the message I sent you where I said he's putting more of his trust in O'Sheen than he is his own channel. Do you remember your response to that?
I don't remember.
So you said everything is fine, never been better, never been greater. And I get that. That's kind of the kind of talk that, you tend to give. But that was like, I think about maybe 2 weeks before London. Or before Switzerland. Before Switzerland, my apologies.
Well, I don't know about the timing of that, but
yeah, I could. Yeah, but I'm not going to go there.
You know what I think it honestly was, because when you have to program a show like Tim should be doing and come up with something each day and come up with some sort of stuff to talk about, I think the problem is that he just started going for the low hanging fruit, the easy target, and it was
100% Brian.
Yeah, it was pure lazy, and it was repetitive and boring.
Yeah,
right. The bezel talk, ironically, right?
Yeah.
The thing is, we actually the thing is we actually had a plan. It was a very good plan that consisted of 30 consecutive days of pure watch talk leading up to Watches and Wonders. Like absolutely no distractions, right? We were going to do the countdown to Watches and Wonders. It was supposed to start, in mid-March and just be absolute consecutive talking about speculation, rumors, Rolex, teasers, all of that stuff for 30 days straight. But that, he didn't have the discipline to do it. He went back to Paul Thorpe and the migrants. I mean, that was really the beginning of the end, right? Talking about migrants on boats and the poppy and attacking Paul Thorpe's politics channel. And really, I mean, it extended beyond his own show, going on Paul Thorpe's channel and being in the chat, looking really quite unhinged at times. And that's when people started contacting me in droves, like, hey, what's going on here? What is happening? Is that we don't want to be involved. We're not here to watch the Paul Thorpe channel. People don't give a fuck about Paul Thorpe or what's going on in British politics.
Or the dodgy bezel, right?
Yeah, and that was so. That the last 2 months, where I don't know exactly when Paul Thorpe pivoted his channel, and then you combine that with the whole UK watch channel thing and creating these conspiracy theories about trying to recreate that channel and all that stuff. It snowballed after that. People just really didn't like that content and started tuning out very, very quickly. And it was just really a kind of a perfect storm of 3 or 4 things happening at the same time.
Oh, and let me say 2 things to people in the chat. To Sean, I really enjoyed watching Sean and Bill Sanders on the other channel the other day. That was great fun. And to Curly, who also goes as Happy Meal. Mm-hmm. Curly's the reason why I have this avatar, because they kept calling me Brian the Pipe or Pipe Brian. So I went and found a cartoon-looking pipe avatar. So that's why I have this one.
Yeah. Brian, I've only heard him really kind of say kind of positive things about you.
Oh yeah, no. Listen, I can't even get a real troll. I've tried.
That's wild.
Blondie was not a fan of me because I was a moderator on the infamous show. Or
see, but you emerged unscathed while OC got all the blame, even though I wasn't there.
Wow. My response to her was, I can't moderate the chat when the host of the show is doxing you.
Bruce G, who's always had my back, I really do appreciate it. He says, I vouch for OC and would consider double vouching as well. Thank you, Bruce. He's been watching me for over 2 years and very loyal guy, and has always supported me. So I appreciate it. I don't blame the panelists because they catch strays just for being present on the panel. But Tim actively collaborates with, promotes, and accepts support from people. You guys can read it yourselves.
I understand.
Did you see the time I showed up on Oshin and Dirk had an open show for one holiday thing, and I showed up wearing my yarmulke and tallis?
I didn't, but it
Oh,
didn't.
yeah.
It didn't make it. It didn't make it into a clip somewhere.
I can't get clipped. I'm so boring.
Brian, you're someone who's been able to fly way above the clouds on all of these issues. How do you do it?
I don't let it drag me down, and when I just stay away from it. Yeah. I also don't put in the hours that some other people do.
Fair enough. Luchabetic Time says, I expect an apology. Apology tour visit Sunday on Luchabetic Time. I demand an apology for your continued ordering of desserts for a diabetic. Hey, that was something that I took advantage of the situation. Ordered extra desserts because I knew that he couldn't have them. Was it premeditated on my part? Yes, it was calculated, and more dessert for me. I do apologize for that. I apologize. I didn't order more desserts. Thank you.
Well, on a flip side to that, what if you order desserts with like a NutraSweet versus a standard sweetener?
So, as the father of a type 1 diabetic, I can tell you, Lucha, too many desserts, you're not going to get type 2 diabetes. Your insulin, your blood sugar is going to spike, and you're going to have to dose extra heavy.
Otto says, classic OC, ordered extra dessert, knowing Lucha couldn't have any. Yeah. That's what I did. Actually, to my credit, I only ordered 2 desserts for lunch and then 2 for dinner.
You know, maybe Kent Daigle's got something. Maybe it is that I smoke a pipe and nobody knows what the hell to do with me. It's like the oddity in the corner. Just leave the guy with the pipe alone and watch him do stupid stuff. Yeah.
It's a magic pipe. Magic pipe. Yep. McAllen Drinkers in the chat. He reminds everybody to hit the like button and upvote the live stream. 53 likes is pretty dang good. I got to say, you guys are pretty amazing. I think we had a really good show. I want to thank Curly for jumping on. I want to thank Basil's Bezels for jumping on and being very transparent, very forthright in his comments. I want to thank Brian for jumping on. How about this? We'll do the 5-minute warning. If anybody else wants to jump on, this is your chance to air out your stuff. You can it can be aimed at me, or more importantly, aimed at Brian, and force him to apologize for all of his misdeeds, and all of his erratic behavior. And we'll go from there. We go, and we'll go from there. Otherwise, we will go into the VIP after show.
I'd like to talk about, why do you feel like you need to apologize for a volunteer position?
Well, I mean, ask Bezos, because he represents the point of view that because I was on the panel, that I could have done more, I could have done better to deal with things with which he disagreed, and content and direction of the show that he didn't appreciate. So why don't you direct your question at Basil's?
For me, it was kind of, I kind of been harping on this a little bit, but it was kind of like the whole the me and we kind of scenario, where it was a bit of more of a we partnership with Tim and Oshie, Tim and OC, versus kind of the me thing, where it was separate as far as kind of certain things went. That I kind of touched on, and I kind of felt that as a kind of like a, maybe good angel, bad angel. The good angel would kind of have a bit of a voice where actions could have been made. And granted, there's different tiers to leadership in any like organization, right? Even if it's voluntary, if you're given a certain amount of responsibility and so on and so forth, I kind of would have hoped that things would have been addressed, so that with things addressed a little sooner than rather than later, and kind of things becoming pear-shaped.
Yeah, I can see
But
that.
that's my opinion, and I can respect that other people don't quite see it that way.
Retort, Brian.
No, I can. I mean, look, I can see that, but I had a little bit of insight into the organization as it was called, and from the outside, I guess the silent signal that you really had to pick up on is when all of a sudden OC would just say, "Gotta go, guys," and poof, he was gone. That was when when he when things weren't going as he wanted,
Right.
or McDonald's had just delivered.
Huh. And that's kind of where I was coming from with the me to we. Like, it's kind of like, if I go, I'm me, but when we're flying high, it's we. But
Mathis, hello.
in my opinion,
How's it going? Yo.
Yo.
Do I sound okay? My headphones aren't working.
Yeah, you're fine.
sound
Now
fine.
we can hear you.
Bezos, I feel you a lot, bro, and I'm sorry I didn't talk to you for a while, brother.
It's all good, and I get it, man. I get it.
Yeah, like the thing with Tim is LC would try to give him advice a lot, but he wouldn't listen to anybody. Like,
Yeah.
if you told the guy to breathe, he would just hold his breath. He's a fucking stubborn prick. And if it's the last time I could talk, that's what I have to say. And I think OC, even if they're done, I think OC deserves a huge thank you. Like, just imagine all the stuff that he did, and then he didn't tell OC thank you. You know what I mean? Just ditch the guy in Switzerland. That's like a movie. That's like the coldest fucking thing. Even if I wasn't banned before that happened, if I saw that, I would have been done with him either way. And that's what I have to say.
Thank you, brother.
No problem.
Yeah, it was actually the reverse that made me rethink everything, right? I mean, the fact that I saw, like, when the de-wrenching happened, that was bad enough. But then when it was Air King Ben, Mathis, Logan Hall, Buckley, Boston Collector, and a couple other people that were treated like absolute dog shit after their years of loyalty, years of friendship, that was the straw that broke the camel's back. It really was.
And O'Sheen is a fucking prick.
And the views expressed by Mathis do not necessarily reflect the views of other panelists, Original OC, or the Original OC channel. Thank you.
OC, like, so if you're able, can you kind of give us a little recap of how things kind of went sideways in Switzerland?
Well, hold on one second. I don't think OC knows, because I'm watching the streams, and the first day OC is feeding interviews and running back and forth like a madman getting interviews for this guy. So OC was like working hard the first day. The second day he was having fun and working.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third day he just got ditched. So my opinion is OC has no clue. But go ahead, OC.
I certainly have a clue what was going on, but there's a lot of shady stuff going on behind the scenes.
Is it
a lot
possible to get maybe an abbreviated kind of a recap?
I mean, I'd rather not talk about it, because it's not just about me. It's about a lot of other people and the stuff that was going on. A lot of character smears, a lot of loyalty tests, a lot of this. You're either with me or you're against me. You either help me smear this person and destroy them, or you're not loyal, kind of stuff. And I don't really do too well with ultimatums. So I chose my friends, and I'm glad, and everybody else did too. As soon as people like Boston Collector, Mathis, Diego, Logan Hall, DCNLV. I could go Buckley. I can go down a list of 50 people, literally 50 people and over the last 2 or 3 weeks with Tim, I would get 2 phone calls every single day. Okay.
Mhm.
Every single day, I would get phone calls from people saying, "What's wrong with Tim?" And
Right.
it's because I knew what he was doing behind the scenes. It was wrong. And I warned him. I cautioned him not to do it. And the things he said were disgusting. And the lies that he was spreading were just unspeakable. And it was a part of a calculated smear campaign. And I wouldn't go along with it. And I know at least 20 people that tried to talk him out of it. And he didn't want to listen. So, and Mathis knows what those things are. And they're just stuff that you really can't even say. They're so disgusting.
How the hell do you get mad at Lucha Bedic Mark?
Exactly.
What?
Yeah.
A guy who was on the community channel, who ran 53 consecutive shows, volunteered his time. And by the way, Lucha Bedic called me and Mathis, or he texted me and Mathis. He said, "You know what? Instead of streaming on my show, on my channel, I'd like to come back and stream on the community."
Yeah,
This
that's
was
what I
about.
don't get. He wanted
was
to
2 weeks.
stream.
This was
Bezos.
2 weeks before.
He wanted to delete his channel. He wanted to quit and just stream from community.
That's like all in.
Yeah.
And
You
Tim
literally
said
are
no.
all in.
Tim said,
And-
"Drop the fucking, hit him with the chair, hit him
That's
with
right.
the
I said
hit him
that's
through
right.
the
I said-
table."
No.
Tim said,
exactly.
Dude.
That's the beginning of the end. When you are so confused and you are so delusional that you have one of a great guy, salt of the earth guy,
Yeah.
"Salt to the earth, not an
who-
empty suit."
politician. No, but he volunteered his time, is well loved and well liked and well respected by the entire audience. The guy said, "I'll stop streaming on my channel. I'll come back and stream on the community channel." I texted Tim immediately. I said, "Give Lucha his keys back. He wants to be on the community channel." "Nah, I don't think it's good. Nah, I don't think he's the right guy for us." What?
I love the guy, but it's a
Yes.
free. It's a guy that's gonna run a stream for you and make you money. Every time we start a community, I don't mean to say it as a money thing. I love the guy as a friend. I never made $1 really. Muhammad
You are
Ali
the
will
face
send
of the
you
community.
$50 2 or 3 times, no matter what, every stream.
Yeah.
So let Lucha run streams, bro.
Just
That's
have
fucking
it hit,
McDonald's
have them
money,
hit, have
douchebag.
them hit, right? Like give people the content they want, and you're going to be supported. And it's just, I think it sounds like it was like a trust issue, right? Like what else could have really been?
I don't know.
Well,
Or
the flip side of
control.
trust. The flip side of trust is it's not control; it's paranoia.
Fair enough. Yeah. Yep.
I do think that Lucha's breakfasts are kind of stupid.
You're accusing him of not being a good cook, or you're just calling the content stupid?
No, I think somewhere out there's a husband for him, and he's going to make a great wife. That's all.
Is Brian stepping up as Lucha's first troll?
No, I've been on him about that for that's old material.
And Lucha confirms that everything that we've said on this entire show is true. Thank you, Lucha. Appreciate it.
Including Basil's bezels.
Yep, everything that Basil said was true.
Awesome.
There was a comment that went by earlier about somebody, and I forget who it was that said it in the chat, but they said that they came to the live streams for watches and camaraderie, and then the drama took over too much. And I've said this a couple of times. I've got real dramas in my life, and I've got real things that I've got to deal with. And when I come onto the streams, I just want to have fun, have a good laugh, see some watches, check in with people, and then move on. I don't want real drama.
It's fair. That's definitely
I
fair.
can call my mother if I want that.
You don't have to go far.
Yep. Otto says, It's paranoia in the bunker. Armies closing in on both sides, turning against all your generals and cabinet members. I think there was a lot of that. There was the people who gave him the best advice, who were pushed away. The people who were there to help him the most got uh, got shoved away. Maybe he sensed that they were not happy with the direction that he wanted to take his channel, and so he got rid of them before they could leave. Right? I mean,
enough. Yeah.
it's a reflex. It's a
That's
reflex. So,
Yeah.
and I don't. I'm not a psychologist, so I'm not gonna talk about Tim's childhood and all that stuff. But I think everybody understands what's going on there. That you basically, it's a fear of abandonment. So what do? You push the people who are your closest people away before they disappoint you.
Yeah.
You
No, and
know?
I think that's
And
why he loves and has been so loyal to Oshin, is because, through thick and thin, like even when Oshin was getting pushed back on his own channel, like he was always like, nah, give this guy a chance, give this guy a chance. And I think Tim really appreciated that. But seeing somebody like of the stature that he perceives Oshin in, and saying like, wow, this guy like is loyal to me, I love that. But he's not seeing that he's like basically burning him from inside, like, and literally like he's literally choosing one person, a panelist, over so many like just like serious like really good people. Like, what the?
Yeah,
Wow.
right. But Oshin made a video like blind loyalty, right?
Yeah.
I'm loyal to OC as a friend, but if he calls me up and says, Mathis, we have to go bury a body, like, I'm not loyal now. Now it's
Fair
over.
enough. Yeah.
Now you got to
Why?
get paid. Now you got to get paid.
It's definitely exactly a time where you literally say like, you know what, like, I get the, and a lot of it is like, she's by design. I really feel like it's almost like, he's like rebel streaming Tim, and Tim's like okay with it, and I know the rebel stream thing, it's a little played out. Let's be real, but the point where it could be an early show, it could be a later show. Tim was somebody that was, doing a lot of the live stream stuff earlier. Can we work together? Can we share a link? It's just being volleyed between Oshin's main channel and Oshin/Dirk. It's like, why do you love this guy so much, dude? Like, he's not in it for you, he's in it for him. And you can't see that. It's just kind of sad.
I feel you.
OC, what else do you want to apologize for?
I want to apologize for screwing up the intro. I apologize for not being able to play the Mookie Brian Boitano clip with audio. I apologize for having one of the most boring channels in the watch space. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot to apologize for.
Well, all you can do is get better, right? All you can do is show up every day, hold yourself accountable, do the right
I
thing.
don't show up every day. I don't show up every day. This is a hobby, so
show up in your own right. Whatever you're doing, do that.
Listen, I really do feel that this is an opportunity for a lot of people to hopefully get past a lot of the stuff that's in the past, no pun intended. But if there are people that are going to continue to look backward, continue to be negative, continue to wage these personal vendettas, they're the ones who are going to be left behind. I mean, I really do feel that there's a critical mass of people across all the streams that just want to have fun. They just want to hang out. They want to talk watches. They want to talk about what's going on in their personal lives and enjoy getting to know people and build stronger bonds. If there are a couple people out there, the anonymous trolls, that feel like they want to continue to sow the seeds of division and toxicity and negativity, I think they're going to extricate themselves from the community, and people are going to start to they're going to ostracize themselves from the rest of us. And maybe that's by design. That's just natural that's going to happen. If people think that if people want to go on channels to troll, there are plenty of channels to do that. My channel isn't a place to do that. The colony really isn't a place to do that. So I think we, as watch enthusiasts have plenty of choices out there. We'll go wherever we want depending on what mood we're in. If we want humor, we'll go to a place that has humor. If we want watch talk, we'll go to a place that has watch talk. If we want, Archie, engaged in, the stuff that he does, the crazy antics that he does, we'll go over there and watch. So it's everybody has free will. Everybody can go where they want. But
hell yeah.
But
what I'm
it
all
is.
about. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, jump in. I was just going to say
two
something,
things:
but
inclusion and accountability. Those two. I think that's huge.
no, I'm not. I mean, you're talking about accountability for a watch YouTuber. I mean, let's try to have a little bit of perspective. We're here to have fun, be
when we
entertained.
go behind, and you can take accountability wherever you want to take it. I mean, you've had people that you want to hold accountable too. OC, like, we should hold people accountable, and we should also welcome inclusion. If you're different, if you're awkward, if you're big, you're tall, you're short like me, hell, we're all welcome. So that's the beauty of this place.
Of course, we let Lolex around here.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, to quote the New Testament and all you people that think that there's a whole nother part of the Bible, the New Testament says there was only one perfect person that ever walked this earth.
OC.
Sandra Bullock.
Now it's Anne Hathaway, but yeah, you're right.
It's scientifically proven.
Yeah. There, I got biblical.
Well, I just want people to have fun and for there to be more meetups.
Yeah, man.
We're doing the meetups. We're doing lots of dinners. We're doing a lot of get-togethers. Nothing is going to derail us from enjoying the people who we've met through these great streams, and we're going to continue to build upon that. Anybody else wants to jump on the panel? This is the final call for atonement.
Ooh, if Curly's still out there, I'd love to hear his final synopsis of things.
Curly, to his credit, has been one of the people that has been saying that the people who strike below the belt are doing a disservice to the people that they purport to support. And yep, so those people have to be responsible for their actions and what they're doing to bring those channels in the wrong direction. Mathis, are you going to Watch Time New York in October?
Yeah, I'm going. I'm booking on Monday.
Nice. James Hess is in the chat. James Hess is someone who was with me in Geneva, and he was at the famous dinner where the shit went down that nobody knows about. What's up, James? Good to see you, my friend. And we went to dinner. We went to dinner together the night after in Geneva. So he knows. He knows the secret shit that nobody knows.
Yeah,
really
James Hess was the best dressed man at Watches and Wonders.
What's up, Gorilla? Thanks for hopping on.
Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's having a great morning, evening.
Did you sleep? Did you sleep?
Sleep is for pussies, bro. I never sleep.
Dude, I love sexy morning voice, Gorilla. Damn.
Dude, get your hand out your pocket. This is not sexy time. Okay? Brian, stop it. Stop touching yourself. Look, I just wanted to pop on a serious note and say, you can talk about OC. You can talk about what he did if you like. You can talk about who he is. You can talk and talk. But life moves on, guys. This is like in the past. Everybody's moved on. And it gets a little bit sad when 60 days, 50 days after the event, people have moved on. Let's just have fun. Everybody's like interacting with everybody. It's a new era and have fun. You can't keep going back and say, oh, he said this and he was part of that. Everybody doesn't give a shit anymore. It's moved on. No one wants to have drama over this. It's finished. At the end of the day, it's happened. People have moved on. People are moving forward. People are having fun, and that's it. People cannot keep reflecting on OC's past, and it gets boring. It's fucking boring. Just understand that we're all humans. Humans do crazy stuff at times. Things may have happened, but let's move on. No one's going to put the guy in prison for maybe if he did this. Maybe did he ban someone? Did he press the button? Who knows? Who can prove it? Who cares? At the end of the day, people have moved on and it's a new era. At the end of the day, the guy's not guilty of killing anybody. Give the guy a break. Let's all move on and have
Well,
fun.
not that anybody knows of.
Look, I don't know where you buried the bodies, but I don't give a. I don't care. The guy, if he was an asshole, he wouldn't be putting so much commitment into helping the horology, going on fucking Archies and doing what he does, and also coming on the colony. I think everybody got to understand that it's a new era. We're all released from any type of dynamic that was bad for us, and enjoy everybody's company. It's the here and now. It's not the past. People that live in the past are actually dead. So let's just have fun. And this whole thing about what happened, who's guilty, this is child's play, guys. Have fun. We're all moving forward in a new watch era. Everybody's committed to make everybody a safer place in where they live and be happy. I just came on to say that I don't really care what OC did, if he did, and it's none of my business what happened, but I'm sure that he was treated pretty bad. I've been and I experienced situations where the guy was actually fuming from some of the ramifications of our friend Tim, what he did. So I know for a fact, the guy did whatever he could. He's not God. He's a human being, guys. And I just want to say, you just got to let people move on. Finish. Mic drop. If that is a mic drop. Suvlagi drop. Suvlagi drop. I'm sorry.
Why did it take 3 hours to get to this point?
I don't fucking know. All I know is barbaric and people need to relax and have fun. It's a brand new era, guys. Be happy that everybody that left Tim or got kicked out or what have you. Salute to Tim. Tim, I hope you're well, by the way, if you're listening. That everybody just wants to move on and just get on and have a new watch life. Everybody wants to have fun because you've got to understand, we come on these shows to have fun and talk watches, and it's a release. Some of us can't afford psychologists, and this is where we come. Correct, Mathis?
Well said. I agree 100%. I think that's a great way to end the show.
I don't agree at all. I think Mathis can afford a psychologist.
And I don't agree. and I really don't agree that people should wear Skechers. There should be freedom from Skechers. I think it's a slave environment if you're forced to wear Skechers. I will never be suppressed to wear those type of things. And OC, when I meet you in America, I will deliver you a fresh pair of Jordans. I just need your size. And look, I just wanted to say I appreciate everything you do, OC. Your efforts are way beyond. And I really appreciate you. Mathis, I love you very much. Brian, you're very gay. Lucha, I love your cars, man, but I can't drive a Jeep. My wife would kill me. Guys, good morning. Be well. Take care. Goodbye. Love you.
Take care. Thank you.
Goodbye. And that sounds like an excellent way to end the show. Before you leave, hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed to this channel. Everybody who's in the chat is a subscriber, so I really do appreciate that. But in case you're not in the chat, please subscribe. Hit the like button on the way out. There's room for a few people in the after show. Click on the StreamYard link to join the after show, and that's it, guys. Thanks to everybody who jumped on the panel. And now the apology tour is over. We're moving forward. We're not going to address any of this bullshit going forward, and we are done. So thanks to everybody, and peace out.
We can't change the past, but let's work on a better future.
Better future for everyone. And final word to Mathis.
No,
peace and love, everybody. And if I put you in a headlock, it's because I like you.
Yo.
Good night, everybody.
Hey, the Lucha